The Falmouth Commodores play host to the Brewster Whitecaps for the second and final time tonight at the Gov Fuller Field, as the Dores currently lead the season series with 2 wins, no losses, and a tie. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of Opening the Door alongside Trey, Redfield, and Carter Bainbridge. Logan Soforenko with you. And Trey, let's jump right into things. You got to give credit to the Falmouth Commodores. They can always bring the tying run at the plate, but last night, again, they could not come away victorious.
The Commodores always make it so exciting, right? Whether it's been, the 0-0 tie, bringing a guy up when they were the winning run. It just always seems to be something coming down to the wire, and then it just goes downhill. That's what it was last night. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and then Alex Mooney popped up the first pitch in the infield, and, they were this close. They were this close. I said it in closing the door last night, and that's how close they were to grabbing another win, this time against the Bourne Braves. They got to put it all together tonight, Logan.
Alex Mooney last night, Carter, we saw him up in the booth attack on the first pitch for 3 of his at-bats, and for the second time in 5 days, the Dores fall by just 1 run, and an unearned run that was committed by an error proved really costly. They have to clean it up today against Brewster.
Yeah, the Dores, after a couple more errors last night, still have the worst defense in the entire Cape Cod League. If you just go by errors as your simple metric, the Dores have to clean it up today. Both errors yesterday were on one single guy. That was Drew Brutcher out on right. He's just going to have a short memory like these guys do every single day. There's always another game. There's always another day in a season like this. So for the Dores, they've got to start winning games, especially against Western Division teams. They don't get the chance today against the Eastern Division Whitecaps, but clean defense is going to be a key today.
It's the lone Eastern Division matchup of this work week. And Trey, it's hot out right now, and it's also going to be a little bit windier as we get a little bit closer to first pitch. And that proved to be a little bit of a factor in yesterday's matchup.
It did. It's a scorcher out here. I mean, honestly, I'm sweating a little bit just sitting here for, 90 seconds? But, yeah, you said it. The wind's going to be in a factor yet again. I talked about it yesterday with the 25-mile-an-hour wind gust, trying to compare it to the greatest hitter who ever lived in Ted Williams. But it's going to be something very similar that we saw yesterday. Alex Mooney still had a home run attacking the first pitch, and that's something that the Commodores just have to keep taking advantage of. Put something in the air so you can put something in the outfield and give your team a chance to win.
Colby Halter also hit a home run yesterday, improving his average to .320 on the Cape League season in the 2022 year. But now we go to the pitching matchup, and the pitching has been pretty fantastic, Carter, for the Dores in these past couple of weeks when the defense and the offense doesn't really get going. The pitching, they've been known as the Mr. Reliables, but today they're going to see Josh Roberge go on again.
Yeah, for the Dores, pitching has not been the problem for a good part of this season. They had a little bit of a slow start, as the whole team did, but starters lately have been great, from Grayson Hitt down the line. Today it's Josh Roberge. This is his second appearance of the summer, his first since he pitched against the YD Red Sox in this ballpark. He went 4 innings that day, didn't allow a hit until the 4th inning in that game, allowed a couple runs to the Red Sox, who are doing pretty well in the Eastern Division, let's remember. Faced off against a good team and impressed in his first start, so he's going to be looking to build on that today against a Brewster team that the Dores have already handled a couple times this year.
And that came on 2 4-run first innings, one back in earlier parts of June and one just last week. But for the Brewster Whitecaps pitching squad, they're going to send a pitcher today in Liam Simon.
Liam Simon, he's a pitcher out of Notre Dame, so he has a lot of innings this season. He's had a lot of experience, taking down Tennessee, the top seed in the Knoxville Super Regional. He went 2-1 on the season with the Fighting Irish and had a pretty good year over there. ERA just a little under. It was actually a 4.99 ERA, so that tells you a little bit. Maybe the Commodores can get into the bats early. That's my keys today. I think if the Commodores put up runs early today and get Simon out of there quickly, life's going to be easy for them.
Well, the Brewster Whitecaps, they've lost a lot of their pitchers in these past couple of games. The Dores are not going to see Zane Morehouse because they've seen Zane Morehouse twice in this regular season. But the Brewster Whitecaps are getting some nice production from Ryan Lasko ever since returning from Team USA. And Carter, the Team USA guys all across the league have been a big part of some team success. But right now, the Dores, they're finding a new identity without those Team USA guys. So it's been very promising to see Peyton Stovall do some great offensive work.
Yeah, the Dores have gotten a lot of contributions this season from their infield. Alex Mooney and Colby Halter have been the usual suspects there, but then you throw in guys like Travis Chestnut, Peyton Stovall, like you said, who played first base yesterday, the first time we had seen him do that. There's a lot of versatility on this infield, a lot of hitting ability. So for the Dores, if they're going to propel themselves past Brewster today and those Team USA guys, like you said, Ryan Lasko and Grayson Tatro, 2 guys that have given him trouble this season, they're going to have to rely on the offensive production from their infield, from third all the way around to first. Those are the key guys in the batter's box for Falmouth.
Grayson Tatro, the last time he was here at Gov Fuller Field, swiped 3 bags. 2 of those bags were on back-to-back pitches. And you mentioned Peyton Stovall playing first base yesterday. We saw Peyton Stovall and Jacob Walsh on back-to-back at-bats get their first base hits of the season off of left-handed pitching. So, Trey, the Dores enter today trailing by to the Wareham Gatemen by 4 points, because Wareham tied in a very crazy game last night with the Chatham Anglers because the lights at Spillane Field just stopped working. So that game lasted 5 innings. So tonight, they don't play a Western Division team, but they can get some points. What do you got for Trey's takes?
I mean, I said it a couple minutes ago, and I'll say it again, because why not? I've been saying it all season. They got to get on base, and they got to do it early. I think one thing about the Commodores is that they need to show who they are early in innings. When it was that 4 spot on the top of the first inning, not just last time at Stony Brook Field, but the time before that as well, that's where I really saw a different team. They really come together early. You know, the whole excitement in the 9th inning is great and all, but when you stop your foot on the ground early, that really puts a smile on my face, because that shows who you are early in games, and you can take that all the way through.
Absolutely, and we're going to take a little bit of a look at Logan's looks. I'm also going to add the errors have to be precise, because when you talk about the field and the errors, the Falmouth Commodores have to use the comforts of home. 3-10-1 on the year, a very bad losing record here at the Gov, so they have to clean it up defensively. We talked about a couple minutes ago that those unearned runs proved costly in these past couple of home games. The first one against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and the one just the other day last night, I should say, against the Bourne Braves. Well, that's going to do it for us on Opening the Door. You can listen to Trey, Redfield, and Carter Bainbridge up in the broadcast booth. I'll be on the field giving you some updates throughout the entirety of the game. It's the Brewster Whitecaps, the 2021 Cape League defending champions, and the Falmouth Commodores. First pitch coming up soon.
From Abilene Christian, number 43, Grayson Tatro. Batting 8th, the catcher from Oklahoma State, number 31, Chase Atkinson. Batting 9th, the shortstop from Vanderbilt, number 11, Davis Diaz. And on the mound tonight from Notre Dame, number 45, Liam Simon. And now, the starting lineup for your Falmouth Commodores. Leading off, the shortstop from Duke, number 4, Alex Mooney. Batting second, the second baseman from Oklahoma, number 21, Jackson Nicholas. Batting third, the third baseman from Florida, number 7, Colby Halter. Batting fourth, the first baseman from Oregon, number 33, Jacob Walsh. Batting fifth, the center fielder from Alabama, number 24, Andrew Pinkney. Batting sixth, the right fielder from South Florida, number 16, Drew Brutcher. Batting seventh, the designated hitter from Georgia, number 25, Corey Collins. Batting eighth, the catcher from NC State, number 28, Jacob Kozart. And batting ninth, the left fielder from Texas A&M, number 1, Travis Chestnut. And on the mound tonight from Southern New Hampshire University, number 32, Joshua Roberge. The umpires tonight, at first base is Steven Kolenda. At third base is Kevin Coughlin. And behind the plate is Rick Emerson. The bat boys are J.J. Lynch and Tyler Calderwood. We want to give a warm welcome to tonight's sponsor, the Marine Lodge. Marine Lodge is the 25th oldest lodge in the state of Massachusetts and the 3rd oldest on Cape Cod. The first meeting of Marine Lodge was held on March 26, 1798, in the home of Stephen Swift. A granite monument, which sits on the grassy knoll in front of Gus Canty Recreation Center, was erected to the memory of the first meeting place. On the monument is a brass plaque stating that the first meeting site sat 200 feet to the east of the marker. The place is now the site of Falmouth Inn, across the street from the Dairy Queen. In 1935, construction of the present Lodge building was started and is where Marine Lodge holds its activities to this day. Marine Lodge continues the Masonic tradition of making good men better. Throwing out the first pitch tonight will be Eric Husibu. Eric Husibo is master of Marine Lodge and has been a Mason for 10 years. He has been a summer resident of Falmouth since 2000 and has lived there full-time for the past 5 years. He enjoys boating, fishing, and volunteering for the community. When he's not on the water, you can find Eric spending quality time with his wife, daughters, and mother. All right, Eric, let's see a strike. Performing the national anthem tonight is Hyannis Sound. Hyannis Sound is a professional all-male a cappella group based out of Hyannis, made up of collegiate singers from across the United States. Dating back to 1994, the members of Hyannis Sound have gathered on Cape Cod around Memorial Day to begin rehearsals before embarking on a rigorous performance schedule of over 100 public and private performances across the Cape and greater New England over the summer. The group's music has received dozens of awards in the world of a cappella over the years, and the group's members have formed strong bonds among one another, as well as the local Cape Cod community. You can catch the group on one of their weekly shows across the Cape, or by hiring the group for a private event. Head to www.hyannissound.org for more information. Please rise and remove your caps for the performance of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land, o'er the land, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
What's going on, Commodore fans? Welcome to another edition of The Hot Seat, where we interview your favorite Commodore players and talk a little bit more about life as well. Today, it's Luke Boyers, the outfielder out of TCU. Luke, thanks so much for taking the time. I know it's a little hot and sweaty out here, but you're still cool if we roll, right?
Yeah, a little sticky, a lot cooler than Texas, though, so I can't complain.
That's a fact. You cannot complain, you know. And speaking of Texas, that's where you play baseball, at TCU. What's it like playing with the Horned Frogs?
It's a great atmosphere. Love the small town feel. Great fans, great organization, great program.
Pretty small school out there, too. Was that a reason why you chose to stay in Fort Worth?
That is, yeah. I like how it's a very home-knit community, kind of a smaller school. I've always been kind of a homebody. I don't want to go too far away from home, about 4 hours from my house. So it's kind of everything that I was looking for.
Now, what's this? What are we doing with here with this stash?
Well, the stash is for the team. For those who can't grow one and for those who can grow one, it's for the boys and it's for winning baseball games. Ever since we moved to the mustaches, we're 3-0, so we have to keep it rocking.
What do you say to those who can't grow mustaches on the team? I know I can't personally, but like, what about guys on the team as well that can't grow them?
Well, it's too bad. I wish they could, and then we could all rock them together. But that's why I got to rock mine for those who can't.
Win some, lose some. We ball at the end of the day. We ball at the end of the day. What's your favorite baseball memory?
I would say winning the Big 12 tournament championship my freshman year of college.
That's not that bad. Not that bad. Playing alongside Braden Taylor, too, collegiate national team. Came from the Dores, went down to Cary, North Carolina. Have you texted Braden and all ever since he went down there and made the team?
Yep, I've been in communication with him. We actually live together back home at school, and so he's been doing good. He's got a good attitude. he's real excited, and I'm happy for him.
Well, is there another sport that you played in high school or you do for fun at TCU?
I played football in high school, and then I don't mind shooting hoops around TCU, but I'm not too good.
What was your position in football?
I played safety my first 2 years and then quarterback.
You were a quarterback. So, you know, in the outfield as well, you could throw a baseball pretty far trying to gun down guys, but how far can you throw a football?
I could throw it about 55, 60 yards on a good day.
On a good day?
On a good day.
What's a bad day?
A bad day, like for sure I could give you like 45, 50.
It still works, right? It's Hail Mary territory at the end of the day. Yep. QB or safety? Wait, favorite one between the two?
That's a tough call. You know, honestly, I enjoyed safety a lot. That was probably one of my favorite ones, yeah.
Just popping guys over the middle?
Yep.
Sounds about right. Now, let's talk about Texas a little bit more. What's your favorite What's your favorite place or favorite thing to eat down there?
I'm going to say in Bernie, I'm going to have to go with Maggie's. I can get about 4 tacos for about $5, breakfast and lunch all day. So I usually go get 2 crispy tacos and 2 potato, egg, and cheese tacos, and I'm set.
How far is Bernie to Fort Worth?
It's about 4.5 hours.
Jeez. So where exactly is Bernie geographically? Is that western Texas we're talking here? Or?
It's more South Texas.
More South Texas. Okay.
Hill country.
Hill country. Something like that. What would you say is your favorite place to eat here in Falmouth?
I would say Betsy's Diner. No doubt.
Not even close.
Not even close. Hands down. I will say I don't try many places, but Betsy's Diner. Can't beat it.
I don't know what it is, but I'm getting mini golf vibe from you. So are you a mini golf type of guy?
I play a little bit of mini golf. I'm no good with my real long golf game, so I dabble in some mini golf.
Mini golf's better than golf, anyways. Let's be real here. And where do you go? Katomet Light, Pirates Cove. What's the place to go to on here?
I haven't been up here, but back home I go often. I haven't been up here though. Yesterday I went clamming with my host family, so that was new for me, and that was an interesting experience.
Let's get a little more into baseball. You're a switch hitter. If you had to axe one side of the batter's box, which one would it be and why?
I'd probably axe right-handed. I'd love to just hit left-handed. I feel more comfortable that way, more fluid, and just because I do it more often, it just feels more comfortable.
Why do people switch hit? Is it just because, you have extra time in your day? You're like, okay, I'm going to try the right-handed hitting this time. What's the point of being a switch hitter, Luke?
So it's all about matchups, So it's harder when the ball's going away from you than when the ball's coming into you. And so when it's righty and I'm hitting left-handed, all his stuff, for the most part, is going to move into my bat rather than away. So it's all about just matchup stuff.
Is cereal soup?
No.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. All right, so one last question for you. Another baseball thing. Favorite part about baseball? It could be your fielding, the hitting. It could be a smell that you get each and every time you're at the ballpark. What is your favorite part about America's pastime and why?
Concession stand food. You can't beat concession stand food. That's my favorite. Whether it's nachos or a hot dog, you can't beat it.
Even at college baseball stadiums, you go to concession stands?
I don't personally go to the concession stand, but I always smell it. That's one of the first things I smell. Some of the teams will feed you after you leave on the Sundays. And so even here we eat from the concession stand after the game. So.
Well, after 2 consecutive losses at home, the Falmouth Commodores can salvage this 3-game homestand with a victory today against the defending Cape League champion Brewster Whitecaps. The Dores have already clinched the season series against the Caps, but can win their third today against an Eastern Division title. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Soforenko, who has more on today's matchup.
Thanks, Carter. It's the final time in the 2022 season that the Dores and Caps will square off. Falmouth currently leads the season series with 2 wins, no losses, and a tie. Both of those wins took place at Stony Brook Field, where in both contests, the Falmouth Commodores put up a 4 spot in the top of the first inning. The Dores beat the Caps with a score of 4-3 in game number 1, and in contest number 2, it was 7-3 at Stony Brook Field. But the last time the Dores and Caps squared off here at the Gov, that was a different story. It was the only scoreless tie that took place in 9 innings here on Cape Cod this summer. So not only are the Dores looking for some more offense tonight, they're looking to go undefeated against the 2021 Cape League defending champion, Brewster Whitecaps. Guys, back to you.
Well, thank you, Logan. And if we see only 1 run scored today, it'll be a high-scoring affair compared to what we had last time these 2 teams had played at Gov Fuller Field. Again, Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield in the booth with you today on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel. And so glad you're with us tonight for the Dores and Whitecaps. And Trey, the Dores tonight trying to go for not just an undefeated season series against Brewster, but Also trying to wash away the bitter pill that was the last 2 losses here in this ballpark.
Yeah, they're sending the right guy to the mound. You don't see him on his screen, but his name is Josh Roberge. Just got the ball from Colby Halter. He's the guy that had 7 strikeouts in his last and first start of the season. We'll get to find out if he has very similar success today against Brewster, a team who's dead last in home runs on the season.
Well, Roberge making his 2nd appearance of the summer, went 4 innings and gave up only 1 earned run against the YD Red Sox about a week ago. And now faces down Javier Vaz, the Brewster leadoff hitter, who takes a strike, and that's how this one starts from Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field. On a very warm night here in Falmouth, one of the hottest games we've had. Vaz cuts on that pitch and misses. Strike 2. And Roberge going to work against this Brewster lineup. Ryan Lasko on deck. 0-2 is high and away. 1-2 the count. So Lasko hitting second and playing center today. Vaz in the box leading off and playing second. Carson DiMartini hitting third and playing third. 1-2 from Roberge is down low and away. 2-2. Cam Fisher hitting cleanup and playing left for Brewster. David Mendham at first hitting fifth. Logan Bravo, the DH, hitting sixth. Grayson Tatro in right hitting 7th. 2-2 grounded to first base. Walsh takes it to the bag. 1 out here in the top of the first.
I noticed this yesterday when I was on the field, but how about Jacob Walsh rocking with the high socks, showing him off? This is his 2nd straight game doing so. I got to figure out why he's going with the change. Maybe it's with something trying to get back into the winning ways. You see Falmouth is in its road blacks tonight. Last year we saw this, and they started to get hot, the Commodores. Let's find out if it happens again this year.
Big swing and a miss by Ryan Lasko for strike 1 with 1 away and the base is empty. And just rounding out the Brewster lineup as the 0-1 fades away, 1-1. Chase Atkinson, the catcher, hitting 8th. And Davis Diaz at short, hitting 9th for the Caps. A little further outside for Lasko. And it's 2-1. We've heard plenty about this guy. One of the mainstays in the outfield for Brewster this summer, who took the team down to Team USA. Took the trip, rather. Check swing fouls that one right side. And it's 2-2. But Lasko made his way back to Brewster. Ended up not making that cut. But now he's back with the Caps. And part of a 1-2 speed duo at the top of this lineup. He and Vaz are big-time running threats. 2-2 stays away, and it's 3-2 on Lasko.
Yeah, players have that option. If they don't make it to Team USA, they can come back and get reactivated by their squad.
Payoff pitch by Roberge. Fouled back to the plate, and it stays 3-2.
Notice how quickly Josh Roberge is working. You know, this is something different from Michael Sansone last night with Wareham, but, you know, this is something a little odd in my eyes, knowing how slow we've been going recently with starting pitching.
3-2 again is lined to deep right center field. Brutcher giving chase, and he's not going to get it. Lasko motoring around first, headed for second. Now he makes the turn for third as the throw cut off by Nicholas. And Lasko slides into third safely with a 1-out triple. So a hot start out of the gate by the running Caps. A 3-base hit by Lasko, and he stands at third with only 1 away for Carson DiMartini.
That's how you win a battle right there. You know, Lasko got great piece of contact. Roberge left it too much over the plate, and it was a rope into right center field. Didn't really help that Brutcher was fidangling with it over there near the right center field fence, but now it's up to DiMartini to bring him around.
First pitch to DiMartini is outside. 1-0 the count from Roberge. So the Caps, who came in today, tied for second in stolen bases with 49. Showing off the speed here in inning number 1. As Roberge can't catch the outside corner again, it's 2-0. DiMartini, a .231 hitter coming into tonight. Pair of home runs, 8 RBIs. 2-0 up high for Roberge. And it's 3-0.
I won't be surprised here if Cozart starts to slow this thing down a little bit. Roberge is going a little too fast. Cozart does a great job of controlling a game behind the plate.
3-0 finds the zone, 3-1. Roberge only walked one batter in his last start against YD in 4 innings. And he walks a man here. DeMartini trots to first and third with 1 out. And here's Cam Fisher. Cleanup man today for Brewster, getting his first cracks against Josh Roberge. Triple and a walk already here at the top of the first inning if you're just joining us. And the Dores again into jam. Runner goes for second as Kozar drops the ball and no throw. DeMartini gets in with a stolen base. And that is number 50 on the summer for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Man, you said it when they were fast. What did you call them? The speed caps just recently?
Call them the running caps.
The running caps. There you go. That was good. That was good.
Cam Fisher with a chance to make this a 2-0 game with a base hit. Infield in at the corners for Falmouth. Roberge again can't catch that outside corner. He's been trying out there, but the hitters haven't been chasing, and home plate umpire Rick Emerson hasn't awarded him the strikes.
That's Brandon Johnson behind the plate. He's getting those. We saw a really wide zone last time the Commodores, or a couple of days ago when the Commodores were taking on the Gatemen.
Up high this time, and it's 2-1. Well, so far, Mr. Emerson has said no, sir. No dice for Roberge. As Halter at third and Walsh at first base are both a shade in, with Fisher at the plate, a recent addition to the roster, but he's been swinging the bat great since he came over from UNC Charlotte. 2-1 is lined down the right field line, a base hit. Lasco can walk home. DeMartini rounding third. He'll score without a play. Fisher into second, and he stops there with a 2 RBI double, and it's 2-0 Brewster here in the top of the first inning. So the Dores, who had 4-run first innings in both their trips to Stony Brook Field this summer, now see the tables turned. Brewster with a pair here in their first inning, and not done with only 1 out, and Fisher at second base.
Yeah, just one swing of the bat can make this a 4-0 ball game. Mendham brings a lot of power. Let's find out what he does here. He's hitting 5th tonight.
David Mendham, the first baseman, takes outside from Roberge, and these offerings have not been close to that corner on the outside part of the plate. 1-0 the count. 1-0 delivery is fly down the left field line. Chestnut giving chase. He dives and it falls. Fisher rounding third. He'll score. Mendham into second with an RBI double, and it's 3-0 Brewster here in the top of the first inning. 3 extra base hits for the Caps here in the first inning, and they're off the launching pad early against right-hander Josh Roberge.
Yeah, they're already in liftoff, and they're counting down from 7 to 6 right now. That's how quickly the Whitecaps are moving. And Kozart's just got to, now he's doing it, but I wish he did that a little bit earlier to help out Roberge. You know, slow down a little bit. You know, there's still a lot of baseball left to play. You can come back from this. The offense is going to need to do some work in the bottom half, but you can still find the way to make this your game.
So Roberge, who didn't allow a hit until the 4th inning of his last start, has given up 3 in this inning, a triple and 2 doubles off the bats of the Whitecaps, who typically don't hit for a lot of power. They're more of a running club. First pitch to Logan Bravo is outside, and it's 1-0 with Mendham at second base already in a 3-0 game. This inning has gone ground out, triple, walk, stolen base by DeMartini, and then back-to-back doubles. As now a conference takes place on the mound. There goes pitching coach Mike Landry out there as well.
Just got to figure out what's up. Bring everyone together. Say, hey, snap out of it. Something pretty simple, you know. Like I said, still a lot of baseball left to play. Anything can happen. The first time these two faced off, Falmouth put up a 4 spot in the first. Brewster almost came back had it not been for a flying Andrew Pinckney in right center field.
Well, we've seen some interesting games between these two this year. First one at Stony Brook Field, like you said, was that 4-3 Hummer. Then there was that scoreless tie, so already they've beaten that trend today.
Yeah.
7-3, the Dores won in their second trip out to Stony Brook Field. They scored 4 in the first and tacked on a couple more. Roberge so far, 23 pitches in this game, only 1 out, and 11 of them have been strikes. So more have missed the zone than not so far for the Falmouth right-hander. And he's got to deal with Mendham at second base and Bravo at the plate, the 6th man to bat in this first inning. So Roberge, who just wrapped up his sophomore spring at Southern New Hampshire, started 13 games, had a 3.38 ERA and 93 1/3 innings. He was a reliable workhorse as the 1-0 comes in for a strike on Bravo, and it's 1-1. Touched 92 on the fastball in his first outing against YD so far today in the high 80s. On the radar gun. 1-1 is flied very deep foul down the first base side and well out of play. It's 1-2. So a very sparse crowd here today at the Gov, one of the lightest we've seen. It is a very hot day. So you figure it's not a weekend and a lot of families might just be going to the beach instead. 1-2 delivery. On the outside corner, got him. Second out here in the top of the first, so Roberge comes back with a K, his first today, to sit down Bravo, with Mendham still at second base. And here's Grayson Tatro, who has torn up the Commodores this summer.
Tore it up at Abilene Christian, too. Led the Wildcats in home runs, RBIs, stolen bases. He's a guy that dominated the Southland Conference this season.
First pitch fouled to the left side, and it's 0-1. Well, so far this summer, Tatro has done big damage to these Dores, a 364 hitter across the 3 games, with 4 stolen bases. So he's been getting on and running around when he's gotten there. 0-1, ripped foul to the right side on the ground. It's quickly 0-2. 88 on the radar gun from Roberge, who is laboring through this first inning.
It's just a bad stretch. You know, he's given up 3 hits so far, and they were all extra base hits. But other than that, he's really found control. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than usual.
How many times have we seen the Dores knock on the door in the first inning against a pitcher who then settles down? As the 0-2 comes low to Tatro, and it's 1-2.
We've seen it twice against this team.
Tatro lefty bat against the righty Roberge, with Mendham at second base. 1-2 gets him to end the top of the first inning. Back-to-back strikeouts from Roberge, who works his way out of it, but not before the Whitecaps get off to a roaring start. 3 runs on 3 extra base hits. We head into the bottom of the first inning with Mooney, Nicholas, and Halter. First time the Dores are up to bat when we return.
Hey there, Commodore fans. Thanks for joining us and cheering on your Falmouth Commodores. Want to take a break from the action? Come make a visit to the merchandise booth. Check us out behind home plate. We have a bunch of new designs for you to purchase, from hats to shirts, jerseys, crew necks, wine glasses, and even baby bibs. You think of it, we probably have it. From youth sizes to even adult double XLs. We have everything you need for family and friends. Be sure to come say hello and get a piece of Falmouth merch. Make a trip before we close up shop in the 9th inning. See you soon, and roll Dores.
Well, if you're just joining us here on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel, you've missed quite the top of the first inning between the Falmouth Commodores and Brewster Whitecaps. The Caps got off to a red-hot start in this game. A triple and 2 doubles with a walk mixed in spelled trouble for Falmouth right-hander Josh Roberge. It's now 3-0 here in the bottom of the first inning with the Dores coming up to bat for the first time today. Alex Mooney, the shortstop, is going to lead things off, followed by Jackson Nicholas playing second and hitting second. Colby Halter playing third base and hitting third. Jacob Walsh playing first, hitting cleanup. Andrew Pinckney in center in the number 5 spot. Drew Brutcher playing right, hitting 6th. Corey Collins DHing and hitting 7th. Jacob Cozart hits 8th and is the catcher today. And Travis Chestnut in left is the number 9 hole hitter. And Liam Simon, the right-hander on the mound, who you're watching warm up right now, 6'4" righty from Freehold, New Jersey, who pitched for Notre Dame this spring and can really bring the gas. Was clocked as high as 99 on the fastball with the Fighting Irish this spring. Mixes in a slider in the mid-80s, so you figure he's not going to touch that high velo here, but he's got serious power in that arm.
He certainly does. He's had a 4.32 ERA this season on Cape Cod, an 8 1/3 innings pitched. He's only had 6 strikeouts. So the Commodores have a chance to put a ball in play today, and they have to take advantage of it with a guy who had a home run last night in Alex Mooney leading off yet again.
Well, it's a hot day here at the Gov, and the ball is really carrying. We saw that in the top of the first as Mooney takes low and away for ball 1. 92 on the fastball to start things for Simon. Mooney held up, but a called strike on the outside corner by home plate umpire Rick Emerson, and it's 1-1. One offering is skied to right field. Tatro moving back a few steps. 1 away. Well, any fly ball today, you're going to have to keep your eye on it as it carries out in this outfield, but not enough Wheaties for breakfast for Alex Mooney, and he's the first out here in the first inning.
Yeah, you saw Tatro slightly moving back. One more step. One more step. You never know when that gust is going to pick up, and then boom. It's right over the fence, and you had no idea that it was going to happen.
Mooney hit one out yesterday to left field in a 1-for-5 day. Was nearly the hero in the 9th inning against the Bourne Braves. Here's Jackson Nicholas, who takes a strike, and it's 0-1. 94 this time from Simon. Nicholas, the first left-handed hitter that Simon has to face today. Colby Halter on deck, another one. 0-1 had him out in front. 0-2 very quickly, and there's that slider dipping down into the mid-80s for Simon. Nicholas down on the count, 0-2. And fouls this offering away, back of the plate. Count stays 0-2. With 1 away and the bases clear. Looks like a kind of day where the Dores are going to have to swing the bats, come up with some offense. They already trail by 3 in this game. 0-2 again. Got him. First K of the game for Simon as Nicholas goes down. And Colby Halter now coming to the plate with the bases empty and 2 away. Simon made that look pretty easy.
Yeah, 3 strikes, 3 pitches.
Well, Colby Halter hasn't been easy out this summer, far from it. A .320 hitter to lead the Dores. He's hitting third today. Shows bunt, but pulls it back, and the first pitch is down and in. 1-0 the count as DeMartini came charging in from third base.
How about Halter in the 3 spot today? Don't really see that often.
1-0. Grounded up the middle. Vaz diving to his right, can't get it. It's into center for a base hit. The train just keeps on moving for Colby Halter. 2-out single here in the first inning, and the Dores have a base runner. First of the day against Simon, and here's Jacob Walsh.
And Javier Vaz getting his welcome to the infield moment. This is his first time Javier Vaz is playing in the infield today. Normally he's an outfielder at Vanderbilt, but getting to start at second base today. So starting to get a little bit loose over there thanks to a hard ground ball from Colby Halter, but it could come again with Jacob Walsh, a lefty at the plate.
First pitch to Walsh is yanked down and in. It's 1-0. Halter over at first base. has stolen 10 of 15 bags this summer. He's up towards the top of the Cape Cod League leaderboards in that category. Something else for Simon to think about as he navigates this first inning. He's got a power lefty bat at the plate right now. 1-0, caught the corner. First time we've seen either of the starters do that today, and it's 1-1.
Well, Chase Atkinson did a great job of framing that one up. It's on the outer half. Atkinson quickly brought it in, enough to make the count even.
1-1 the count on Walsh. We'll get to the Brewster defense here in just a moment. Halter didn't go as the pitch is down and in. It's 2-1. Outfield left to right for Brewster. Cam Fisher, Ryan Lasco, and Grayson Tatro. Infield around the horn, Carson DiMartini, Davis Diaz, Javier Vaz, and David Mendham. And Chase Atkinson, the name you just said, Trey. The battery mate for Liam Simon today. Halter hasn't moved off first base with 2 down. 2-1 off the fists, fouled back, and it's 2-2 on Walsh. 96 so far for Simon, the hardest pitch he's thrown today.
It's only going to get more up from there. It's going to keep on going up, especially as next couple innings go along. We'll see him peak maybe 97, 98 when he gets to the bottom halves of innings 2 and 3.
2-2 delivery as Halter goes, and Walsh fouls it off. Getting pretty bold, sending a guy with 2 down, trailing by 3. Got a home run hitter at the plate. Walsh has 4 taters this summer. But Halter's been a guy who's stolen bases with pretty good efficiency. 10 for 15 is nothing to sneeze at. Walsh, a guy who can get a hold of a pitch, especially from right-handers. All 4 of his home runs have come against righties. But he goes down here to end the first inning. Second strikeout for Simon, and that strands Halter over at first base. We head to the top of the second with Atkinson, Diaz, and Vaz. 8, 9, and 1 for Brewster. Coming back around when we return.
And can you draw your college logo? Nice.
There we go.
I can
That's
see
actually
it.
good. That's
I can
actually
see
really
it.
good.
Oh my goodness, it's so bad. That's good.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
I love how flames go.
But I can try to give you a frog. Looks more like a pig than a frog. That's no frog. That's
wrong.
bad. That's
oh
more
my
like
God.
that's bad.
I know it's got like a weird. This. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. I can't draw the basic one. You know. Okay. Do not judge me, please. Very stressed. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
We gotta erase puddles right there.
There's puddles.
That looks like a turkey.
That's actually really good. That's really good.
The Falmouth Commodores trail the Brewster Whitecaps 3-0 as we head into the top of the second here at Gov Fuller Field. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Soforenko, who you'll hear more from as we get further into this game. Josh Roberge hoping to make it further in this game after a 3-run first, facing off against Atkinson, Diaz, and Vaz. 8, 9, and 1 in the Brewster lineup. Tough first inning for him. Triple, double, double. Had a walk to DiMartini, who then scored. First offering to Atkinson is popped up right side. Walsh underneath it over towards the Falmouth bullpen. And he's got it for out number 1.
Sometimes it's that easy.
1 pitch, 1 out.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
And now Davis Diaz, the number 9 hitter for the Caps today. About to take his cracks with 1 out and the bases empty. First plate appearance for the shortstop today. Diaz entering this evening. 184 hitter on the summer. Breaking ball comes in and slices the corner for a strike, 0-1. And Roberge wasn't getting that pitch over in the first inning. He labored a little bit with his command. 0-1 chopped to the third base side. Halter lets it go foul. Very nearly down the left field line there for Diaz, but he now has to walk back, saddled with an 0-2 count. Javier Vaz on deck, a guy with good speed. 0-2, down low in the dirt, 1-2. So big first innings, customary of this series this summer. 1-2. Low again, 2-2 on Diaz. The Dores did it both times at Stony Brook Field, and now the Caps are returning the favor. Early deficit for Falmouth to try to work its way out of. 2-2 is lined to Mooney at shortstop, who comes down with it. Leaping catch and a gold glove play for Alex Mooney at shortstop, and there's 2 away here in the top of the second inning.
I know he's had his struggles defensively, but his glove was awesome at Duke. You know, it's people have their slumps here and there, whether it's on the field or at the plate. And, you know, we've seen some points where Mooney's made some overthrows and stuff like that, but I feel like we got to give a lot more praise to Mooney's brighter spots, where he makes those jumping grabs, where he makes the sliding plays, because he has that capability of being a great shortstop, and he's going to be a great one next year when he's draft eligible as well.
First pitch to Javier Vaz was low, and the second one is as well. 2-0 the count on the Brewster leadoff man. Hitting for the second time today. He grounded out in the first before all the trouble began. He now hits with 2 down, bases empty in the second, and watches a strike go by. It's 2-1. Defense for Falmouth, outfield left to right. Travis Chestnut, I should say. Andrew Pinckney in center, Drew Brutcher in right. Infield after this pitch by Roberge. High and away, and it's 3-0. Colby Halter at third base, Alex Mooney at shortstop, who just made that play. Jackson Nicholas at second base, Jacob Walsh at first, and Jacob Cozart back behind the plate. We've seen a lot of Josiah Cromwick, but he starts today on the bench. 3-1. Popped foul, back of the plate, 3-2 on Vaz. That's certainly not a guy you want to walk. 11 steals at Vanderbilt, plays a rangy outfield, and is 6 for 7 in swiped bags this summer with Brewster. 3-2 is popped up into right center field. Nicholas giving way for Pinckney, calling everybody off. And that's the end of the top of the second inning. Just what the doctor ordered for Josh Roberge. The Caps go down 1-2-3 as we head on to the bottom of the second. Pinckney, Brutcher, and Collins. 5, 6, and 7 for the Dores due up. We'll be back shortly.
Commodores fans, sharpen your baseball skills with some of America's finest players from the best college programs in the country. Clinic attendees will have opportunities to work on hitting, base running, infield and outfield play, as well as pitching and catching. Attendees will also participate in Commodores Chat, where coaches and players discuss topics like sportsmanship, academics, teamwork, and other issues important to being an all-around player. Clinics are offered Tuesday, June 21st through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 3 separate clinics will be offered for ages 5 to 14.
We travel on to the bottom of the second inning here at Gov Fuller Field between the Falmouth Commodores and Brewster Whitecaps in this intra-division matchup. The Dores trying to gain ground in the West, and the Caps trying to cling on to a 3-point lead in second place in the East. And so far, it's Brewster who has the upper hand in this game after a 3-run top of the first inning. Lasco with a triple, DeMartini with a walk, and then back-to-back doubles by Cam Fisher and David Mendham are the damaging plays in this game as far as the Dores are concerned. And they're now trying to make a comeback against right-hander Liam Simon, who's on for his second inning of work. Simon worked around a hit in the first inning, 2-out single by Colby Halter, and touched 96 miles an hour with his fastball. So he's turned the gas on tonight. And Andrew Pinckney is just the latest to face it. He leads things off here in the bottom of the second with Drew Brutcher on deck and Corey Collins in the hole. First delivery to Pinckney. Breaking ball snaps in there. That slider from Simon has been coming in for strikes in the early going. It's 0-1. 0-1, chopped foul left side on the ground, 0-2. Well, the numbers for Pinckney, 229 average with 28 strikeouts, don't tell you the whole story about him. He's been hitting much better lately than when he first came over from Alabama. 333 this month, 10 for 30 in the month of July. 0-2 is flipped out to right field over the head of Mendham into no man's land. And a single for Pinckney. Sharing a smile over there at first base. Second hit of the day for the Dores. Off the end of the bat for Pinckney, and it's a leadoff base runner here in the second inning.
Sharing that smile because he knew that was a 2-strike swing. He just wanted to put the bat on the baseball to stay alive because he didn't know if it was going to be a ball, didn't know if it was going to be a strike. So he just love tapped it, and now he's aboard. It's up to this man at the plate, Drew Brutcher, to bring him around, though.
Practically threw the bat on that pitch
Literally.
off the plate.
Literally.
Just dunked it into right field. First pitch to Brutcher, skips away from Atkinson behind the plate, and Pinckney alertly makes his way to second base. Passed ball on Chase Atkinson. And now the Dores have a runner in scoring position with nobody down. I haven't seen a lot of pass balls this summer, usually wild pitches from these pitchers, but they do happen. As Atkinson and Simon share some words about halfway to the mound, making sure that doesn't happen again. So Pinckney now at second base, and Brutcher at the plate. Drew yesterday, 1 for 4. 1-0 is high drive to right field. Tatro watches it go over the wall. Drew Brutcher gets the Dores off the mat here in the bottom of the second inning with a 2-run shot. And it's 3-2. Brewster still leads here at the Gov.
Who knows? Maybe it was not showing off the socks that's right for Drew Brutcher. We talked about it before the game, like, oh, he's not showing off the socks anymore. Well, let's see what happens with him. Oh, sends it over to fence. First at bat. Not too shabby.
And Brutcher, who's regarded as a pretty toolsy guy in MLB draft conversations. He's got that big frame, and you know there's a lot of power in there as Corey Collins takes down low for ball 1. And there are swings like that where it looks effortless off the bat. Tatro gave it a few steps in right, but then realized it was a lost cause. This one by Collins lined into left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. 3 straight hits for the Dores to open up the bottom of the second inning as Collins singles. And now Jacob Cozart coming to the plate. All of a sudden the Dores erupting here in the early going at the Gov. Single home run single. And here's the Falmouth catcher with still nobody down.
When you see a stat line going into a game that sees 6 in the hit category and also 6 in strikeouts, that tells you that, this guy gives up baseballs that are put in play. And it's up to the Dores to take advantage of it. Would be something that Jacob Cozart got it going here as well.
Fouled back the first pitch, right back to the brick, and it's 0-1. 95 on the gun from Simon. So quickly 0-1 on Cozart, who has ceded catching duties lately to Josiah Cromwick. Cozart today appearing in his first game since July 9th. Taking his first hits against Liam Simon on the mound, who has been touched up in this inning. Single by Pinckney, 2-run home run by Brutcher, and another single by Corey Collins, who now stands at first base. So the Dores, who entered today one of the league leaders in home runs as a team. In second place, only 1 fewer than Katuitt, now have 24 on the year. 0-1 is a big swing and a miss for Cozart. It's 0-2. So the Kets and the Dores, the only team so far with 20 or more home runs on the summer. Falmouth does have that pop in its lineup. Simon looking down Cozart, who's down on the count 0-2. This one's skied to right field. Tatro heading back into his left and makes the catch. Allowed out off the bat of Cozart as Collins retreats to first. And one down here in the bottom of the second.
If that's more over the zone, Cozart is sending that to the playground. He had to reach out for that swing a little bit. And look how far it went. The wind helping him out a little bit, but that was good barrel to ball work. It's just Cozart didn't have enough wrist and hand strength because it was so far out away from him that he couldn't get as much power as he wanted on that.
Now Travis Chestnut at the plate, playing left, hitting ninth today. He fouls the first offering to the right side, 0-1. Well, it's not as windy here today as we saw against the Bourne Braves. Winds were gusting around that day in excess of 25 miles an hour. We saw some pretty interesting fly balls in that game. But it is a hot day today. You're going to see the ball carry it. It definitely has so far. 3 extra base hits so far for Brewster. Brutcher with the big home run in this inning. 0-1 to Chestnut, who bunts it right back to the mound, and Simon throws back to first to double off Collins. 1-3, the double play goes, and that abruptly ends the bottom of the second inning for the Dores, but not before they get 2 runs on 3 hits. The biggest among them, the blast to right field by Drew Brutcher that got him back a pair. We head on to the top of the third in a 3-2 game. Don't go anywhere. Blasco, DiMartini, and Fisher, 2, 3, and 4 for Brewster coming up next.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song. Proud to be an American. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
And what's your favorite breakfast food?
Oh, my favorite on the West Coast. I don't know if it's a thing back east, but Spam.
Wheels or doors?
I think wheels, honestly, because you use wheels like more than I feel like you would use doors, because if you're moving things around, more than likely it's on a wheel.
Well, it looks to be a long ball evening here at Gov Fuller Field. It's 3-2. The Brewster Whitecaps lead the Falmouth Commodores as we head to the top of the third inning. Brewster with 3 runs in the first off a triple and 2 doubles, and then the Dores answered back in the bottom of the second with a 2-run home run off the bat of Drew Brutcher. So already the Whitecaps with 3 hits, the Dores with 4 through 2 trips to the plate. And Josh Roberge, the right-hander on the mound for Falmouth, delivering a first pitch ball to Ryan Lasko here in the third.
Is it just me, or is Roberge lined up to the mound a little bit more to the right of your screen?
On the right side of the rubber, looks like.
Yeah, it looks like he moved over a little bit.
1-0 is down to make it 2-0.
Like, you're seeing that too, right?
It very well could be. It's tough to see the rubber from where we are, but it's definitely possible. 2-0 to Lasko, a little bit too far inside again for home plate umpire Rick Emerson, and it's 3-0. 3-0. Inside again. Roberge tried there all 4 pitches, but now awards Lasko first base with a leadoff walk here in the third. That's not what you want.
No, it's not. And he went with the same spot each and every single time.
Lasko's been on base both times today. Triple in the first and now a walk. And Carson DiMartini's at the plate. Throw over and Lasko's back. Second walk of the day for Roberge here to lead off the third. DiMartini was the other back in the first. Lefty bat and another throw over. This time closer, but Lasko again makes his way back. Roberge paying attention over there for good reason. Lasko's 7 for 8 this summer on steals. He's got a lot of speed. Another throw, third straight. Lasko sliding in each and every time.
If Roberge was at a visiting Major League ballpark, he'd be getting hounded with boos right now. Hounded.
DiMartini shows bunt and the pitch down low. 1-0 the count. Now Halter has to come in a little bit at third, or at least be ready.
with Walsh glued to the bag over there at first. 1-0's high and away, 2-0, and Roberge so far in this game has had a lot of trouble finding that outside corner, especially in the first inning, but he's not getting calls out there. Keeps trying it, but can't get the Brewster hitters to expand the zone. There goes Lasko. Cozart, good pitch to throw on. Mooney's tag, got him. Ryan Lasko shot down on his way to second base by Jacob Cozart behind the plate for Falmouth, and there's one away here in the top of the third inning. The count moving to 3-0 on DiMartini.
You got an out. You'll take that any day of the week. Is it ball 3 and is it 3-0? Yes, so what? You came into this at-bat with nobody out. You already have one gone.
3-0's a strike from Roberge. It's 3-1.
And that was textbook, too. That looked amazing. Cozart showed off the arm right there, and it was one of the best throws I've seen this season.
3-1, got the top of the zone for a strike. DiMartini started to twirl his bat like he was going to throw it, making his way to first, but now he's got to deal with one more pitch. Payoff offering. Breaking ball in for strike 3, called. Frustration for DiMartini as he goes to grab some pine, but it's the third K of the day for Roberge. And 2 down here in the top of the third inning.
When you do it, when you try and flip the bat over for ball 4, and when you think it's ball 4 in a 3-1 count, and then you go down 3-2 on a called strike, the close call is going to go against you. Showing disrespect to the umpire a little bit.
Ground ball by Cam Fisher. First pitch attacking, and the inning is over. Nicholas to Walsh finishes it off as we head to the bottom of the third. The Caps get nothing in their half. Mooney, Nicholas, and Halter, top of the Falmouth order, coming back around when we return.
Now, do your best cartwheel.
I'm not a gymnast. I think I'd pull something if I did a cartwheel.
Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
I'm going to go with fly, honestly. I think flying would be pretty cool. Be able to be up in the air, around everybody, fly with some birds. Be pretty cool stuff, Carson.
Okay, Anders, now do your best and favorite dance move.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Well, things have quieted down at least a little bit for Falmouth here in this game at Gov Fuller Field. The Dores trail the Brewster Whitecaps 3-2, but have just gotten through 2 straight scoreless frames against the Caps offense that started the day so hot with a trio in the first frame. And now for the Commodores, 1, 2, 3 in their order are coming back to the plate. Mooney, Nicholas, and Halter to take their second swings of the day against right-handed starter Liam Simon for Brewster. Simon today has had good velocity on that fastball, and he's had a good slider working as well. But the big blow, the 2-run home run by Drew Brutcher in the second inning out to right field. 4 hits today for the Dores, and Alex Mooney, who has been red hot in the month of July, now steps into the box. Entering the day, Mooney, 14 hits in his first 42 at-bats this month, 3 doubles and 2 home runs. First pitch to him is high, and it's 1-0. Mooney 0 for 1 today, flew out to right his first time up. One delivery. Grounded sharply to third. DiMartini on a hop. 1 away. Mooney now 0 for 2 on the day. And here's Jackson Nicholas with 1 away, and the base is empty. Nicholas, a recent addition to this roster since he came over from Oklahoma. He's played a little bit around the infield, now 1 for 7 at the plate, including his strikeout in the first inning today. Shows bunt and lays it down, but it's foul left side. The Dores have been showing a little bit more of that lately with a couple different players, namely Travis Chestnut, who popped up a bunt in the second inning and hit into a double play. But the Dores have been showing that they'll lay down a sacrifice here and there. Josiah Cromwell has done it a few times. Oh, 1. Check swing this time up high. No appeal, and it's 1-1. 1-1 from Simon. Too far outside, and it's 2-1. Dores trying to get something going here. One away, bottom of the third. Chopped to first base by Nicholas. Mendham has it. Taps the bag for out number 2. Quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning, and Colby Halter's your hitter with the bases empty. Halter today 1 for 1, singled his first time up back in the first inning. The Dores still trying to make their way back and fully tie this game. The Brutcher home run was a good start as they try to claw their way back after a brutal first inning in this game. Halter watches strike 1 go by. It's 0-1. Little half a check swing from Colby. And make no mistake, we've talked a lot about Halter's contact skills and how he can steal a bag, but this guy could pop one. He has 5 home runs this summer. 0-1 is in for a strike, 0-2.
He's also hitting .320 this season coming into today. A little bit more now, but that's 4th on Cape Cod, Carter.
He has been quite a find for this Dores team. 0-2 pitch. Up head high, and it's 1-2. Even when Falmouth was struggling on offense, it seemed like Halter was one of the guys who was just not phased. Only one Cape Cod League hitter has 6 home runs. It's Tyler Johnson with Katuitt. As the 1-2 is outside 2-2, but there's a 5-way tie for second place. Guys who have 5 home runs, and Halter's in there. So he's right near the tip top of the list in power. 2-2s in the dirt, 3-2.
And this is something that's not on the stat sheet, but something Halter is one of the best at on Cape Cod. His way to work counts and stay in at bats and stay in the batter's box.
Halter has 13 walks this summer as well. That's near the top. Payoff pitch. Foul to the left side, 3-2.
He's going to keep doing that. That's what he brings to the table. There are a couple of Commodore hitters that do that pretty well also, but Halter is the best at it, and it's not even close, to be honest with you.
Only 7 players on the Cape have more walks. Got to be able to fight off pitches like that to get them. Payoff again. Flying to right field. Tatro heading to his left, lets it fall in front of him. Halter wide turnaround first, but now he goes back. How about a 2-for-2 day so far here in the third inning? Another 2-out single for Halter. And Jacob Walsh is your hitter with Halter at first base and 2 down.
I know there was a 2-run home run today from Drew Brutcher, but that's one of the best at-bats that we've had today. That he had to fight for that one, and he put it in a really good spot in the field. And now it's up to Jacob Walsh to bring him around. He has the capability to do so. He already has himself an advantage with it being a righty-on-lefty matchup.
First pitch to Walsh is up high and away, 1-0. That was just a patented Halter at bat. A lot of pitches.
Yep.
Waited for one that he wanted and then just hit them where they ain't. That's how the expression goes anyway. 1-0 the count on Walsh. Halter goes for second. The pitch high and away. Atkinson's throw. Got him. Halter tried to swim around the tag, but well applied by the Brewster middle infield as we head on to the top of the fourth inning. Mendham, Bravo, and Tatro, 5, 6, and 7 for Brewster. Coming up when we return.
Hottest take.
Hottest take. Hottest take is that a straw has 2 holes, not 1.
What is your favorite place in Falmouth?
My favorite place in Falmouth right now, I would say, is Shoreway Acres Inn. A bunch of us, the interns, are staying there, and like we're having such a great time getting to know each other.
Can you give me your best British accent?
Scott Sterling.
Is cereal a soup?
No, it's cereal. It's its own thing, right? What soup have you had with milk in it?
We're back at Gov Fuller Field here in the top of the 4th inning, where the Falmouth Commodores trail the Brewster Whitecaps 3-2. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Soforenko, who you'll hear from in the bottom of this inning, as we watch the Dores try to scrap their way back into this game after a 3-run top of the 1st by Brewster. But the Caps have been quiet since then. 2 scoreless frames. Trey, seen anything from Roberge that's helped them keep him at bay?
I mean, it's just his way to adjust. You know, he got a little bit of help from his infield as well. One of the best throws we've seen from Jacob Cozart. I think one thing with Roberge is that he's got to slow down a little bit. There are times where he's still going fast when he threw 7 straight balls to start off the inning, but still only saw 3 batters. Not often do you say that, where you throw 7 straight balls and you get 3 batters up to the plate. So with Roberge, who's looking a little bit more towards the middle of the mound, he's got to find a way to keep it going with that cutter that keeps falling away from left-handed hitters.
Grounded to shortstop. Mooney up with it. Out number 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Very quickly for Brewster again, early swinging, and it doesn't pay off. They're awarding Roberge with some quick outs after he struggled so mightily back in the 1st.
That is the third at-bat where batters have been retired in just 1 pitch. If that's the case, keep going. Keep going with it. Put it in play and trust your infield. Because they keep swinging at it, too. That's the thing. They're going to swing at the first pitch. If they put it in play, get the out. They're just giving it to you. They're spoon-feeding.
0-2 very quickly on Logan Bravo, the DH and number 6 hitter today for Brewster. So Roberge working quickly like he did in the 1st inning, but he's got himself a little more under control now. 0-2. Check swing. They appeal to first. Got him, says first base umpire Steve Kalenda. So Bravo heads back to the dugout, a strikeout victim. 4 on the day for Roberge, who is settled into a good rhythm, and Grayson Tatro is the hitter with 2 down. The Dores want to keep this guy off base, don't they?
Yeah.
Last time he was here, stole 3 bags on him. 2 on back-to-back pitches, as the first one from Roberge comes in and sails away. 1-0 the count.
There was a heckler last time the Whitecaps were here. He asked Tatro where Abilene Christian was from. I think that guy looked it up after knowing he had 3 stolen bases.
Line to right field for a base hit, so Tatro at it again. Brutcher fires it in, but it's a 2-out single for the Caps here at the top of the 4th inning. Well, it's quite a chore to keep Tatro off base. Hit .285 over with the Wildcats this spring. .244 so far this summer with the Caps, but he can steal a base, as we've just said, 7 for 8. And most of these Brewster Whitecaps can, up near the top of the league in that category. First pitch to Atkinson. Pumped in for a strike. It's 0-1. Davis Diaz on deck, the number 9 hitter. 0-1 delivery. Down in the dirt, 1-1 the count. 79 miles an hour on the breaking ball for Roberge, who is sweating his way through this one. He's had his fair share of base runners, but it is a hot day here in Falmouth. Up into the 80s, which around here is considered hot. 1-1 pitch, nasty breaking ball on the outer half, called for a strike. It's 1-2.
Some help from Cozart there too as well. It's tailing away. The Cozart's ability to move it quickly and flash it to Rick Emerson was enough for a strike. Cozart has a lot of experience behind the plate. Just a freshman at NC State, started 42 games last season.
1-2. Got him looking, and that ends the top of the 4th inning. 2 more strikeouts for Roberge in this frame, and he's settled down since the 1st. We head on to the bottom of the 4th. Walsh, Pinckney, and Brutcher, 4, 5, and 6 for Falmouth due up. Trey Redfield will take you for 2.5 on the play-by-play duties.
Now, do your best cartwheel.
I'm not a gymnast. I think I'd pull something if I did a cartwheel.
Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
I'm going to go with fly, honestly. I think flying would be pretty cool. Be able to be up in the air around everybody, fly with some birds. Be pretty cool stuff, Carson.
Okay, Anders, now do your best and favorite dance move.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Welcome back to Go Fuller Field, where the Falmouth Commodores trail the Brewster Whitecaps 3-2. In the offseason, we saw the outfield fence get raised from 6 feet to 8 feet, and that's probably why we've seen so many doubles hit off the top of the wall. The Commodores entered today hitting 24 home runs combined on the season, and that's tied for first with the Catuit Kettleers. But only 9 of those home runs were hit here at Go Fuller Field, as 3 of them belong to Alex Mooney. They're hoping to keep the Brewster Whitecaps to their typical home run ways, as the Caps enter today with a Cape League low 10 home runs, and that includes that wacky home run that came off the bat of Alex Freeland that some people thought was a ground rule double. Guys, back to you.
Well, Logan, I'm pretty sure we can say that it was a ground rule double, but it was called a home run that day. That was the first time the Commodores took on the Whitecaps. It was a 4-3 victory at Stony Brook Field, but here at Gov Fuller Field today, it's Brewster that leads Falmouth 3-2. With Carter Bainbridge, I'm Trey Redfield. You just heard Logan Soforenko on the first base side. Liam Simon is on for his 4th inning of work, and he's facing the 4, 5, 6 part of the order for the Commodores, starting with Jacob Walsh, Andrew Pinckney, and Drew Brutcher. Carter, not a bad 4, 5, 6 coming up, knowing Walsh is coming up to the plate. He has himself a couple of home runs, but Pinckney and Brutcher got hits in their last at-bat.
Well, this is the part of the lineup that did the damage back in the 2nd inning when the Dores got 2 runs back. Jacob Walsh wasn't a part of that, but Andrew Pinckney singled, Brutcher homered, Corey Collins then singled. So the bottom of the lineup today has been doing work. And Jacob Walsh, a guy who can do the exact same thing. He's got a good power stroke, and when he connects, it goes a long way.
Walsh coming back up to the plate after Colby Halter got caught stealing in the bottom of the 3rd. Swings at the first pitch, a bouncer over the middle. Diaz has it at short, throws it over to first, and it gets away. Bouncing out of play as well, so Walsh will head over to second base. So it's an infield single for Walsh, but he's advancing to second via the E6 from Davis Diaz. I gotta say, a lot of hitters are attacking the first pitch. Hasn't really worked so well for Brewster, but for Falmouth, it's been working great so far.
Well, Falmouth defensively has gotten that as an advantage. The Brewster Whitecaps have been swinging early and often ever since they had that 1st inning, and it's given Josh Roberge a little room to breathe. Gotten some quick outs, and he's settled down since the 1st.
Andrew Pinckney at the plate, 1 for 1 today. He shows bunt and lays it down on the left side. It's going to roll all the way. Foul. Oh, just by a couple of inches at most. All that had to do was just hit the third base bag over there, and that was a bunt single for Pinckney.
Just missed it by a hair, because if it hits the bag in fair territory, that's a fair ball. And there's nothing that the third baseman, Carson DiMartini, in this case can do, but just watch it and just pick it up, put it in his pocket.
So Walsh stands on second base, thanks to Diaz's throwing error. Pinckney's single was a leadoff single on an 0-2 count in the bottom of the 2nd. Falmouth put up 2 in that inning thanks to Drew Brutcher with a 2-run home run. He's on deck. Walsh stared back to first base by Simon. Despite the Commodores trailing by 1, they have 2 more hits than the Whitecaps. 0-1. Strike 2. Pinckney thought about it. Checked his swing. Didn't matter. Pinckney's really starting to find his groove. He's hitting .229 this season. He's gotten hot in the month of July.
Walsh represents the tying run on second base. The 0-2. Swinging a shot to right field. That one won't get down. Caught by Grayson Tatro on a slide. Walsh getting over to third. But he's out. They said he left early. And the Commodores can't believe it. They're trying to figure this thing out. Jeff Trundy's going to come out of the dugout.
Well, the Brewster dugout was making a lot more noise than the Falmouth dugout. Umpiring crew's got to sort this one out. Looked like Walsh was pretty solid with his jump off second base, but perhaps they're saying he didn't tag, maybe didn't get his foot on the bag, or did leave early, because there's no doubt that Tatro did make that catch. Very fine sliding play.
Yeah, it was diving, sliding. It was a little bit of both from Grayson Tatro out there, the right fielder out of Abilene Christian. But the question is, between the three umpires, Rick Emerson, Stephen Kalenda, and Kevin Copeland, did Walsh leave early? Because he went over to third base, and then you heard a lot of chatter from the third base side in the Brewster dugout. The reason why that was is because they thought Walsh left early. And according to Stephen Kalenda, they were right. But this is a long discussion. And they rule Walsh out. What did he just say to Jeff Trundy?
I can't say for sure, but whatever it was, it got some howls from the Falmouth dugout.
And Trundy's still out.
He's about to get his money's worth.
Emerson telling him not to come over. Let's get more of an explanation. And Trundy has it. Not really too pleased with it. There's two gone quickly. That's a big blow. We talked about how potentially this was going to be something for the Dores to, get a first lead with the 4-5-6 up. Pinckney and Brutcher had base hits. Brutcher had a home run in that bottom half of the second inning. But now there's no one on and two gone in this bottom of the fourth. How quickly everything changes. It's now 1-0 on Brutcher.
You don't see the Dores dugout argue like that very often.
Now 2-0 on Drew, who looks at a pitch inside. That two-run home run came off just one pitch. He saw it, he liked it, and he sent it over the right field fence. Ball 3 now on the South Florida Bowl, who hit .299 this season down at USF in Tampa, Florida. Coming into today, Brutcher was hitting .187. And he walks on 4 straight pitches in his second plate appearance. But you want to talk about how much more of a bigger blow that is. You put runners on the corners with Corey Collins coming up potentially. That double play never happening. Collins does the same thing in this at-bat than he did in his first one where he got that single. We'd be tied up at 3.
A lot of what ifs if Tatro lets that ball fall.
First pitch to Corey Collins. To the left side, fouling out of play, 0-1.
But I think, and with the benefit of replay, we would know probably for sure. But
Yeah.
there isn't much point to it now. But I think what we saw just from the Falmouth dugout is you've got a team that's trying to get out of 5th place. They've had back-to-back brutal losses here in this building, and there's just some frustration finally boiling over. And they're wondering when they're going to get breaks like that.
Swing and a miss from Collins makes it 0-2 on the designated hitter. But you said it best. I mean, the Dores are 4 points back right now from the Wareham Gatemen. I mean, if we want to shed some light to the room, I mean, the Gatemen are trailing the Katuitt Kettleers at Spillane Field 5-0 right now. So it's up to the Dores to do it on their own end to gain a couple of points back. 0-2 pitch. Brutcher goes. Too high for ball 1. Throw down to second. He got him. Brutcher gets caught stealing, and the bottom half ends with a caught stealing for the second straight time. We go to the top of the 5th where Diaz, Vaz, and Lasco are due up. 3-2 is your score, Falmouth trailing.
Want to house a Falmouth Commodore? Be sure to sign up to become a host family today. Hosting a Cape League player can be very rewarding. Players connect and bond with the families, often forming lifelong relationships. Please remember that every Commodores player is bound and governed by NCAA rules and regulations. In order to maintain their collegiate athletic ability, host families receive a weekly allowance from the Falmouth Commodores to help cover player expenses. Host families are not required to provide transportation to players. The Falmouth Commodores are very grateful to the wonderful families that host our players each and every year. If you are interested in hosting a Falmouth Commodores player for the summer, contact our housing coordinator Lisa Smuda at lisatz143@comcast.net. For more information, visit our website at falmouthcommodores.com. Thank you for supporting our players, and roll Dores.
Ready for the top of the 5th inning here at Gov Fuller Field as we take a look at the standings. We talked about it a little bit in the bottom half of the 4th inning, but this is where we are right now. The Commodores 4 points back of a playoff spot. Last time we saw one of these, the Bourne Braves were were hanging around near 5th place. But now they've been lighting it up with 30 points. It's really a race between Wareham and Falmouth to see who goes home first in the Western Division, Carter.
Yeah, the West is certainly close. I mean, if one team goes cold and another goes hot, we could see some flipping around in the standings. Katuitt looks like it's probably going to win tonight, so Hyannis may have to wait another day to try to get into first.
First pitch to Davis Diaz is strike 1. Josh Roberge is on for his 5th inning of work. He only had 4 innings pitched last time out, which was his first start of the season. Pop-up sails out of play. Cozart didn't have any room to get it, so it's now 0-2 on the shortstop out of Vanderbilt, who is 0 for 1 today. Diaz comes out of Pittsburgh, California. Sounds a little weird, but bear with us. Everyone thinks of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but not the case. So 2-2 hits to the right side, going foul by a few feet. Do the 1-2 again.
Are you aware of any other Pittsburghs?
No, I'm not. Wait. I think so. Maybe. No, I'm not. I was thinking of like a Pittsburgh. I don't even know. I had a weird thought. 1-2 skied in the air into right center field. Pinckney is under it. He makes the grab for the first out. Are you aware of any Pittsburghs?
Yeah, there's one in Tennessee.
Is it? There's no H, right?
No, I was joking. There's not.
Oh, there's not. Okay.
But you believed it.
I believe mostly everything you say. Because you do get me, I will say. And no, Gullible is not on the ceiling right now. Here's Javier Vaz. He's playing second base today. It's his first time playing in the infield this season. Swings at the first pitch, over to second base where he is on the other half. Nicholas throws it over to Walsh in time for the second out. But there they go again, Carter. The Brewster Whitecaps attacking early.
Yeah, and this is a team, it's kind of their credo, right? They use a lot of speed. They don't hit a lot of home runs. They're not a power hitting team, even though they belted a couple extra base hits in the first inning. To them, it's all about hitting the ball on the ground, trying to find the holes, trying to beat them out to first base, and then running around the bases once you get there.
First pitch to Ryan Lasco is strike 1, despite Cozart being unable to corral it.
And at the end of the day, the Caps didn't have that first inning because they drew a lot of walks. Roberge only walked 1. They just hit him around. They're trying to jump on the first offering because he's trying to throw strikes.
Count even now on the Rutgers Scarlet 9. This season, played in 58 games out of 59, where he hit .349 with 16 home runs and 51 RBIs. Doing it alongside Chris Brito, who is another dominant Rutgers player with the Bourne Braves. Bouncer to the left side. Halter couldn't get it. The thrower to first from Mooney is not in time. So it's now an E5. That's the official ruling. It's another game where the Commodores will not be able to put up 0 in the error category.
And unfortunately for Halter, another goes in the books there. The infield was clean yesterday against Bourne. The 2 errors on the board were both from right field. But the Dores have another. For Halter, a guy who doesn't do it a whole lot. A little surprising. That's now number 5 on the summer.
So now it's Carson DiMartini, who's 0 for 1 today, went down looking on a 3-2 count in the top of the 3rd inning. Lasco goes, it's ball 1, throw down to second. He got him. Mooney with an exceptional tag to close out the top of the 5th. Lasco gets caught stealing for a 2nd time tonight. As we head into the bottom of the 5th, Corey Collins will lead things off when we come back.
Hey Commodores fans, sharpen your baseball skills with some of America's finest players from the best college programs in the country. Clinic attendees will have opportunities to work on hitting, base running, infield and outfield play, as well as pitching and catching. Attendees will also participate in Commodores Chat, where coaches and players discuss topics like sportsmanship, academics, teamwork, and other issues important to being an all-around player. Clinics are offered Tuesday, June 21st through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 3 separate clinics will be
So after Ryan Lasco gets caught stealing for the 2nd time in the top of the 5th inning, that now makes it 4 base runners have been caught stealing, 2 on each side, Carter. Question is, when is someone actually going to swipe it back?
Well, somebody already has for Brewster. It was DiMartini in the 1st inning.
Oh, he did. Excuse me.
After that, no one's stolen one since. So these 2 clubs that are trying to run, but not a lot going on the base paths right now. Atkinson and Cozart behind the plate for these 2 respective teams have been firing the gun and doing it accurately so far.
To my left is Carter Bainbridge. I'm Trey Redfield. Logan Soforenko on the field for us tonight. As you see Liam Simon on your screen, he's about to begin his 5th inning of work. He's given up 6 hits so far. And the 2 runs that you see next to the Falmouth Commodores logo came in the bottom half of the 2nd inning.
All things considered, Simon's been pretty strong today. He hung one to Brutcher on the 2-run home run back in the 2nd. But other than that, 2 runs on 6 hits for the Dores. He hasn't been stingy in that department, but he's limited the damage. Shown off a high-octane fastball and a pretty good slider today.
So Corey Collins at the plate. He looks at strike 1. Collins was also up in the bottom of the 4th inning, but just like how it was going into that bottom of the 4th inning, there's someone that was getting caught stealing. This time it was Drew Brutcher. So Collins coming up yet again. Swings at the 0-1 foul. Going to the left side out of play. It's now 0-2.
We've seen a lot of wide strike zones on the Cape this summer, but this one by Rick Emerson today is not one of them. It's been pretty fair for both sides, a little bit on the tighter side in favor of the hitters. What that does is it's forced Simon and Josh Roberge on the Falmouth side to come in more middle part of the zone with strikes, and these hitters are adjusted enough at this point. They're not missing them.
Now 1-2 as Collins has a great eye on that one. Corey did a lot of DHing at Georgia. That was the majority of his games where he found himself. He's doing that tonight for the Dores. As he looks at the 1-2, high and away, count even. Liam Simon is throwing around the mid-90s. At Notre Dame this season, he was topping out around 97, 98. The team that beat Tennessee in the Knoxville Super Regional to make it to the College World Series. As Simon sends Collins back to the bench, a swinging strikeout to start off the bottom of the 5th.
Now Simon couldn't get that fastball down for a couple pitches in that at-bat, and then finally gave Collins something different that wasn't a heater. And unfortunately for Corey, just couldn't adjust in time to the off speed.
So now brings up Jacob Kozar. Catcher out of NC State who started in 42 games this season, looks at ball 1. A freshman behind the plate starting in the majority of games at a school that lives and breathes catchers. Not too shabby for Cozy.
Swings and misses at the 1-0 to make it now even at 1. Cozart flew out to right field in the second inning. Looks at the 1-1 outside, now 2-1. And on that pitch that he flew out on, he put barrel to ball. He just didn't get enough strength behind it because it was a 2-strike swing. He was just trying to stay alive and almost got all the way to the fence when he swung at it. Now 3-1. This is something Cozart does really well, Carter. He has a great eye at the plate. The hitting has been a little on and off this season from him, but he's got one of the best eyes in the lineup. Works to his advantage there. He's aboard via base on balls.
You have to figure for Cozart that coming into today, it was going to be a little tough for him to shake off the rust. He's playing less lately, especially compared to what he did early in the season. Josiah Cromwell has been playing more behind the plate. Corey Collins is also here. They're not using him as a catcher, but that's now 3 guys in that depth chart that could play. Cozart today, as you said, average a little low for him this summer, but he's now getting the chance to contribute again.
Not too much of a lead over there with Cozart. It's Travis Chestnut. Checks his swing and looks at ball 1 outside.
And that might have been a strike yesterday, about that far out, up in the zone, down as well. Chestnut was one of the guys who was dissatisfied with that strike zone.
The 1-0. Bouncer left side foul going on the top of the Brewster dugout over on the third base side. So it's now 1-1 on the newest Texas A&M Aggie, who bunted into a double play in the second. Showed bunt in that at-bat. He popped it up back to Simon, who threw it over to first to get Corey Collins. 1-1 misses low, now 2-1 as another baseball bounces onto the field of play. Time is called. That one came over from the bullpen. That's Caleb Corbett warming up over there on the right side.
And with a 2-1 count, there's a couple different things that Jeff Trunny could do here. Chestnut could lay another one down. They could hit and run. It's the ideal count here, especially with only 1 away.
The 2-1. Strike 2, count even. Chestnut can show off the speed. He can show off the bat as well. He had 15 home runs with Temple College, a JUCO school in Texas. Also stole 35 bags. Cozart leads off first. The 2-2. Chestnut lays off, and the count is full. Chestnut's in left field today. Was an infielder there with the Leopards this season, as another baseball finds its way onto the field. And that one came from the bullpen again. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chestnut swung so hard that he ran himself out of the batter's box, so he now goes to the top of the order for the 3rd time today with Alex Mooney.
And Chestnut, one of the guys who's a recent addition to this roster, and you have to feel for him just a little bit, because usually guys who do come over here end up struggling for a couple games. They've got to get adjusted to facing the best pitcher from any college team in the country. Usually if guys end up here, they're one of the better arms from their respective college teams.
These things get talked over on the mound with the batter, and get to see if someone comes out of that Brewster bullpen over there in left field. We don't have the greatest advantage points over there on the left side of the field, because there's a marooned covering there with the fence. Always hard to see numbers. Sometimes we have our videographers go ask a field reporter, hey, who's throwing over there? Walk over, sneak behind the bullpen, figure it out, come right back.
I'd be surprised if they take out Simon here.
Me too.
Of course, if they do, the logic is that he's about to face this lineup for the 3rd time. And you hear a lot about that, especially in the major leagues, how much data there is and all the statistics that say that starters just get a lot worse when they face a lineup for the 3rd time for whatever reason. That ended up proving true yesterday as well. The Bourne Braves, Alex Mooney, Nelson Berkwich faced him for the 3rd time, and Mooney took him deep.
There is some activity behind there, but the Whitecaps will stay with Simon.
It's Mooney at the plate, who's 0 for 2 today. First pitch to him. Bouncer left side, foul. 0-1 on the Duke Blue Devil, who had a great year at Duke, great first year. Made the ACC all-freshman team, got better as the season went along. So he was a better ball player when ACC play came around. Gozart leads off first, 0-1. Mooney with a love tap to make it 0-2. Mooney comes from an athletic family. His younger brother, Ryan Mooney, got an offer today from Central Michigan University, a football offer. Opportunity to have some action in the Mooney family. 0-2 the count on Mooney. Too high, ball 1. Alex came up with the bases loaded last night in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs, but popped out to close out a 4-3 loss against the Bourne Braves. Had himself a home run last night, though, as well. 1-2. Bouncer on the left side. Diaz charging in, throws it over to first. The scoop. It's not in time. Mendham had it, and he fielded it cleanly. It's an infield base hit for Mooney, and it goes back to the case in point that we've always talked about. Mooney's a tough out. That's a big reason why he's hitting leadoff.
Good things happen when you put the ball in play and you're as fast as Alex Mooney. That was a defensive swing and a put-away pitch from Simon that he pretty much got all he could out of it. Very softly hit to the left side. Diaz, a good fielding shortstop. And we talked earlier in this game about breaks, and I think at first glance the Dores might have just gotten one. A very close play at first. And now Mooney's got himself an 8-game hitting streak.
He serves as the go-ahead run over there at first base as Jackson Nicholas swings and misses at the first pitch from Simon. It's 0-1 on the Oklahoma Sooner, not Sumer.
Well, Nicholas can come through in a big way right here.
He's 0 for 2 today. Simon's trying to complete his 5th inning of work. Nicholas goes after it again. It's now 0-2.
And you see swings like that from guys who just recently come over. I mean, Andrew Pinkney in an interview with the league said, coming from Alabama, even in the SEC, you run into some guys you can kind of give yourself a deep breath. You know, guys at the back end of the pitching staff, but it's everybody's best guy from all around the country, he said. Got to imagine that's tough.
Nicholas goes down on 3 pitches, the second time he's done that tonight, and Liam Simon gets out of a jam. We go to the top of the 6th where the Brewster heart of the order is coming up, and Falmouth trails by 1.
And can you draw your college logo? Nice.
There we go.
I can
That's
see
actually
it.
good. That's
I can
actually
see
really
it.
good.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
I love how flames go.
But I can try to give you a frog. Looks more like a pig than a frog. That's no frog. That's
wrong.
bad. That's
oh
more
my
like
God.
that's bad.
I know it's got like a weird.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. I can't draw the basic one. You know. Okay. Do not judge me, please. Very stressed. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
We gotta erase puddles right there.
There's puddles.
That looks like a turkey.
That's actually really good. That's really good.
Well, the Commodores trail by 1 as we head into the top of the 6th inning, and Caleb Corbett is now on the mound for Falmouth, making his 6th appearance where he's had 5 innings pitched, giving up 13 hits, 8 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The ERA up to 14.40. Carter, the Dores need Corbett to stay clean here, trying to get back in front, or just get in front in general. Falmouth has not led today.
And this game has slowed right down since the first 2 innings when it ended 3-2 going into the 3rd. We thought we were going to see a shootout today, but Josh Roberge for Falmouth really settled down. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, but he only allowed 1 hit in his final 4 frames after that messy first. So But Caleb Corbett just trying to keep that trend going. This his 6th appearance of the summer. ERA up there at 14.4 in 5 innings. He's given up 8 earned runs over that span, 13 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. After coming over from Louisville, Corbett a fastball slider pitcher, but he has to deal with the heart of the Brewster order, DeMartini, Fisher, and Mendham.
DeMartini had himself a walk in that first inning where Brewster put up 3. Then Cam Fisher came up, had a 2-run RBI double. David Mendham followed, and he got himself an RBI double, trading places with Fisher. So let's find out what Corbett can do as DeMartini, Fisher, and Mendham come up for the 3rd time today.
And these Whitecaps just saw Corbett on July 9th, pitched an inning, and they hit him. 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts in that 7-3 Falmouth win. Caleb hoping they have short memories.
Yeah. DeMartini remembers Corbett from the ACC as well. Comes out of Virginia Tech, and he looks at ball 1 inside. So DeMartini is 0 for 1 today, went down looking on a full count. He looks at strike 1 to make the count even. DeMartini had a great year at Virginia Tech. The Hokies had a great year in general as well. Lost to Oklahoma in the Blacksburg Super Regional. It's a curveball from Corbett, misses high for ball 2. DeMartini this season with the Hokies had 15 home runs and 50 RBIs, batting .341 on the season. It's now 2-2.
Oh. Awesome breaking ball from Corbett there. That curveball is not a pitch we've seen him break out a lot, but that's definitely a good one that he's got today. Just snapped one off on DeMartini. Nothing he can do with that.
He's hitting 2 home runs this season with the Whitecaps on 8 RBIs, as he's now worked the count full. We talked a lot about Lasco and Vaz having stolen base ability. DeMartini up there as well. He has 9 this season. Payoff pitch. Inside, and he did not go around. Great at bat from DeMartini, who is now walked for the 2nd time today.
Well, over the course of the summer, as the Dores have played the Brewster Whitecaps, and this now the season finale, the 4th time they've met them, Carson DeMartini's numbers have just gotten better. The first time the Dores went out to Brewster, DeMartini at the time was having a brutal start. Entering the day, his number's still a little low, 231 average, but he's been hitting better, stealing more bags, and hitting 3rd today for a reason.
1-0 on Cam Fisher. He's the one that got the party started. 2-run RBI double in the top of the 1st inning. 1st and 2nd of 3 runs in that top half. 1-0. Too high, ball 2.
Including his at-bats today, Fisher now hitting .348 on this young summer for him. Only 23 at-bats, but already 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run since coming over from UNC Charlotte.
Before that, he transferred from Walters State after redshirting for 1 season at Ole Miss. 2-0 misses low, now 3-0. Corbett looking a little frustrated after that one. Gets a piece of the rosin bag, gives himself a couple of seconds.
I watched Cam Fisher play last summer in the Coastal Plain League, and it doesn't surprise me at all that he's here this year. He was the hitter of the week in late June when he hit .478 over that span. Finished up .384 for the Forest City Owls on that summer.
You answered my question. I was going to ask you, which team did he play for? Because he was in your division.
And that summer, he walked more than he struck out. So you see him trot to first here. It's just more of the same.
It's now ball 4 on Cam Fisher, but a little more clarification on Carter's division. We were in the Coastal Plain League last year. Me and Carter. He was with the Asheboro Copperheads in the Western Division. I was with the Morehead City Marlins in the Eastern Division. We never got to play each other. That would have been cool.
Would have been a hefty drive.
Oh, yes. Yes. Would not have been fun. I love North Carolina. I'm from there, but would not have been fun going across the state.
There's plenty of alumni that have made their way up here. Thomas Caulfield, Noah Ledford, Hogan Windish is going to probably be an all-star with Wareham.
Wyatt Hensler,
Wyatt Hensler with Bourne.
Yep. Was with the Copperheads with you last year.
Brendan Oxford, another CPL alum on these Brewster Whitecaps, left-handed reliever.
Trotter Harlan was a late addition as well, I believe, to Katuitt. It's a Wilmington Shark. Now playing for one of the best teams on Cape Cod this season, statistically so, with 33 points at top of the Western Division.
Something I don't want to slip through here is that pitching coach Mike Landry for Falmouth is definitely having a few words with home plate umpire Rick Emerson. Looks like it's all pleasant, but certainly a veteran coaching move there to take so long with the meeting that you get an umpire out there and then you can say some things as you walk away.
So the conference is over on the mound. We now get to see David Mendham for the second time tonight. 1 for 2 with an RBI double.
Corbett's got to get it together here after back-to-back walks. His release point's just a little bit off. He's got to start spotting that fastball.
Still hasn't grabbed an out yet either. First pitch is roped down the left field line. Foul by a couple of feet. So 0-1 on the Oklahoma State Cowboy. A team that got bounced in its own regional, falling to Arkansas. Which means, yes, Peyton Stovall and Chase Borfin went farther than Mendham. This season with the Whitecaps, he has 3 RBIs, hitting .241 in 16 games played, but on a little bit of a slump right now, Carter. He was coming into today 0 for his last 9. His last hit before today came against the Chatham Anglers at Veterans Field on July 7th. 0-1. Bouncer in the dirt. Kozart keeps it in front of him. So count even now on Mendham.
And Chatham and Brewster have played some of the more interesting games this summer. Some high-scoring affairs and a lot of ties. These Brewster Whitecaps tie a lot. They've done it 6 times this season, but so too have the Anglers with 7 over in the Eastern Division.
And then there's Falmouth with 2.
Only 2. Although for a team in desperate need of points in the Western Division, that's not necessarily a good thing.
No. Falmouth just needing a win to stay in the swing of things. At the bottom of the Western Division, the Dores are with 22 points. 1-1. Bouncer on the right side. Corbett picks it up. There's an open bag over there at first base, and Corbett, luckily enough, wins the race, and he loses his footing over in foul territory. The Whitecaps take advantage with DeMartini coming in the score, and it's now a 4-2 ball game here at the Gov.
Well, it's not going to go in the books as an error, but I'm not really sure what Jacob Walsh was doing over there at first base. He and Corbett definitely had some kind of miscommunication, because as Corbett fields that ball, someone's got to be over there on the bag. He cannot be left responsible to win that sprint with Mendham to first base, and then the slip-up is just par for the course. When you've been fielding like the Dores have for the last 3 games, those kind of things tend to happen.
Fisher advances over to second base. First pitch to Logan Bravo, swing and a miss, strike 1. He was 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. Down looking in the first, swinging in the fourth. Corbett trying to keep the score where it is right now. 4-2, the Whitecaps in front. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss again, strike 2. Bravo comes out of Harvard, where he's a designated hitter today. Faced a lot of struggle with just playing in general, not because of coaches or anything, but because the Ivy League was so careful about COVID. Lost a couple of seasons. 0-2 pitch, whiffed that for strike 3. It's easy as 1-2-3, and Bravo goes down on 3 pitches for the second straight at bat. There's 2 gone in the top of the 6th.
Well, that's Caleb Corbett when he's on. You see the quality of that slider when he spots it and when it has good break on it. Nothing Bravo could do with that pitch. Righty-righty, when that pitch is on, is just so tough. But now, a pretty good lefty bat coming to the plate for Corbett to deal with.
His name is Grayson Tatro. Has himself a single today, came in the 4th. Has an opportunity to bring around Fisher on second base. First pitch on the outer half for strike one. Tatro, the Abilene Christian Wildcat, transferred from Paris Community College and had a great year at ACU this season. 17 home runs, 66 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, all of them led the team. 0-1. In the dirt, Kozar blocks it. Count even. This season with Brewster, not too shabby either, hitting .244 coming into today with 13 RBIs in 24 games played. Corbett trying to get out of this top half with just a one spot. His time is called. This is Corbett's 5th appearance this season. 1-1. To the left side and down for a base hit. Coming around with wheels is Spisher. He will score, but not by much. It's now 5-2 Brewster. The Whitecaps put up their second run in this top half of the 6th inning. RBI single from Grayson Tatro, who's now 2 for 3 tonight.
A tough inning for the Dores, letting it get away from them a little bit. Corbett again having trouble with the base hits. Gave up 3 his last time when he faced these Brewster Whitecaps, and this another similar inning. 2 runs on so far 2 hits, a couple walks, and more trouble for the Dores, falling behind here at home.
Now it's Chase Atkinson. Catcher looks at first pitch low for ball 1. That was much closer than I thought. Fisher was flying around the base pass, but Chestnut got that in quickly. Pickoff move over to first. Getting back safely is Tatro without getting anything dirty over there. Sun beginning to set behind the trees here at Gov Fuller Field. A little bit longer than usual. We got out of here quickly yesterday against Bourne. 1-0 misses high, ball 2.
And this game was moving right along until this top of the 6th inning. We got a little bit of a late start today, a couple minutes late, at least compared to usual.
Yeah, it was 6:05. That's when first pitch was thrown. Mostly sunny skies at a temperature of 79 degrees. 2-0. Finds his own for strike 1. Atkinson today is 0 for 2. Down swinging in the 4th inning. Popped out on a foul fly to Jacob Walsh over at first base in the 2nd. The Dores wearing black at home for the first time this season. It's now 3-1 on Atkinson. This also happened last year when Falmouth was going through a little bit of a schneid. Tried to get situational with the baseball gods and changing things up. Worked out in his favor for a little bit, but missed the playoffs last season. Trying to avoid that for the 2nd straight season. 3-1. To the left side and through for a base hit. Going over the 2nd is Tatro. It's back-to-back singles for the Whitecaps. Atkinson stays on first base. Good piece of contact there. Easily getting through the hole, Carter, from Atkinson.
Yeah, and if you're trying to keep yourself in this game and try to stave off a 3-game sweep in this homestand, you don't want to walk away 0-3 in 3 games you really wanted to have, but you want to keep the Caps at bay. It might be time for Corbett to cut his losses here.
Question is, will this be it? And the answer is yes. So 2 gone here in the top of the 6th with 2 on. We'll step aside. Brewster ballooning its lead in this top half.
Logan Soforenko here at Fenway Park with Oregon first baseman Jacob Walsh. Jacob, you just finished IO. How you feeling after your performance?
Feeling pretty good. It was a lot of fun.
You talked to me about the importance of your footwork and becoming the best defensive first baseman you could possibly be at Oregon. What was that like on today?
It just made everything a lot easier. I just can trust my work and know that, I'll be fine. Just go have a good time.
Now, you talked about yesterday with the approach at the Green Monster trying to go the other way. You trying to hit one out over the Monster?
That's still the goal. We're going backside all day today.
Backside's the motto. All right, I got one question for you before I send you off. Green Monster, there's a street behind it. Do you know the name of it?
Oh. I do not.
The answer is Lansdowne Street.
Lansdowne Street.
Remember that baseball fact right there. There you go. Jacob, enjoy the rest of the day. Have some fun. We'll see you for BP.
All right.
Back into the swing of things here at Guff Fuller Field. The Commodores trailing the Whitecaps by 3. Ryan Slater is now on the mound. Comes out of Florida with the Gators this season. He went 6-4 with 6 saves, having a 5.34 ERA and 57 and a third innings pitched, giving up 34 earned runs, striking out 48, and walking 25. Carter, he comes into a situation where 2 runners are on base, and Caleb Corbett, he only made it through 2/3 of an inning, is responsible for.
Yeah, not the best we've seen Caleb Corbett this summer. He leaves behind 2 base runners for Slater, who has had a much better go of it so far this summer since coming over from Florida. Slater with a 2.25 ERA in 6 games, 12 innings pitched entering the evening, 11 hits, only 2 walks, so he's been good with control, 14 strikeouts and only 3 earned runs. But first things first, he's got to retire Diaz to end this inning.
Vanderbilt Commodore coming up to the plate for the 3rd time tonight. He's 0 for 2. First pitch from Slater. Off to a good start. Strike 1 right down Broadway. You saw Logan Soforenko's interview there with Jacob Walsh. Ryan Slater was also part of Fenway Day on Monday. Took a tour at Fenway Park, and Slater was the one that sat in Brad Pitt's seat when they were filming Moneyball in the press box at Fenway Park. Count even at 1 now on Diaz. But get this, Slater tells me after the tour is over that he's never seen the movie. Find that out on my piece that I did on our YouTube, where I took a trip around Fenway Park. Did the ins and outs of America's most beloved ballpark as the 1-1 rolls a little bit and goes foul. Cozart was waiting for it to move to its left, trying to get back onto the chalk. But Cozart just picked it up, got rid of it. It's now 1-2 on Diaz. But can you believe that? Ryan Slater's never seen Moneyball?
The first thing that made me think was that I'd feel old, because there's eventually going to be players who are going to be in this league when they come in here, and that movie came out before they were born.
Now you're making me feel old.
I know Slater's younger than the 2 of us.
You still got to see it, though. I mean, we were 12, 11 when that movie came out.
I think as a ball player, it's kind of a rite of passage.
Have to. Just have to. It's all about getting on base. 1-2 misses outside. Count even. Slater coming in for Corbett, who's responsible for both runners on base. The only guy Slater is responsible for right now is the man at the plate, Davis Diaz. 2-2. Just a bit outside, count full.
This strike zone's been consistent for both sides. You got to admit that. That high strike probably would have been a called strike 3 yesterday, but not so today. Slater's got to work a little harder than the throwers yesterday had to.
Payoff pitch. Fouled to the right side and out of play. We'll do the 3-2 again. Diaz has himself a good eye, and he credits it to his dad. He throws in BP. He says it's all over the place, so he's been able to have a good eye from that. I got to say, when my dad threw me BP too, it was the same way. Not trying to be special or anything, but my dad's BP throwing, it was mid. 3-2 fouled off again. Diaz staying alive.
He's doing what he has to do, hitting ninth. He's just trying to get the top of the order back around to the plate. He's worked a really good at bat here off of Slater, who by now has thrown out all the adrenaline he accumulated in the bullpen. And you have to imagine Javier Vaz on deck has gotten a pretty good look at this right-hander too.
Payoff pitch. Bouncer to the right side, and that one is through for a base hit. Coming around to score is Tatro. Coming to third is Atkinson. And the hits keep on coming for the Whitecaps, so do the runs. It's now 6-2 Brewster, thanks to an RBI single from Davis Diaz.
It was the Dores who had innings like this back during their last trip to Stony Brook Field just 4 days ago. 4 in the first, scored in a couple other innings, but it's the Whitecaps offense that's been the relentless one today.
That's the 8th batter up today. Javier Vaz looks at strike one. 8th batter up in this top half, that is. We've seen all 9 more than once. Just to tell you how long this top of the 6th has been. 0-1. Rope to the right side, and that one gets through as well. Atkinson comes around to score. Going to third is Diaz. And it's now Javier Vaz that gets himself an RBI single. Brewster balloons its lead even more. Its largest lead today, up to 5. When is it going to end?
Another crooked number up on this scoreboard, and for all the losses the Dores have had this year, they haven't gone through a lot of innings like this. They've typically lost close, low-scoring games. Hasn't been very often that they've just been bludgeoned by an opposing team, but Brewster can really break this thing open here with one big swing.
First pitch to Ryan Lasko misses outside for ball 1. And the Whitecaps have officially gone through the batting order in this top half. Diaz is on third. Vaz is on first. 1-0. Vaz goes. Cozart loses it. And it's a stolen base for Javier Vaz. So now 2 runners are in scoring position as Vaz grabs his 7th stolen base on the season. So now just one single Carter can make this a 9-2 game. You got 2 speedsters, 2 Vanderbilt Commodores on the base paths as well. A bouncer. Slater has it. And finally, the top half is over. After 9 hitters come up, and the Whitecaps score 4. We'll find out how Falmouth responds in the bottom half of the 6th, trailing by 5.
Logan Soforenko here, field side at Fenway Park with TCU outfielder Luke Boyers. Luke, how you doing today?
Hey, it's a beautiful day, a beautiful ballpark. This is an awesome experience.
Now, as a baseball fan, you're currently here at Fenway Park. You just took I.O., and it's probably the most iconic baseball park in the world, but how are you feeling after your I.O. performance?
I feel pretty good today. I made the throws I was supposed to, fielded the ball cleanly, so that's all I can ask for.
What's it like doing it here, the home of the Boston Red Sox?
I mean, it's awesome. It's sweet. We walked in, you could still smell the hot dogs from last night's game, the food, the concession stand. It's a really cool experience.
Last night's game was that Red Sox win over the New York Yankees, but never mind that. You got BP coming up, and you're a switch hitter, but you say the left side is your more preferred side, but you got the monster over there. You going to try and hit one out today?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to switch over right-handed and see what I can do, see if I can sneak one over the wall. That's my goal for today.
I talked to a couple guys, and they say they're going with the back-sided approach. You're not going to even try with the left-handed approach there?
I'll see what happens, but I don't know if I got it in me to go backside over that big boy, so we'll see what happens.
That's got some height on it, but there's a little street behind the monster. Do you know the name of it?
I do not know.
It's called Lansdowne Street. We're asking everybody that question, so I'm giving you some Fenway trivia and some Fenway history.
Okay, I'll keep it to myself. I won't let anybody else know.
Well, Luke, thank you so much for your time. Have some fun in BP. Doors are up soon. We'll see you later.
Well, welcome back to Gov Fuller Field, and finally we're into the bottom of the 6th inning after Falmouth gave up 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning. Some gritty still going on here at Gov Fuller Field. And finally, we see a new pitcher, Carter. It's now Hunter Owen, and it's another Vanderbilt Commodore. We saw Javier Vaz and Davis Diaz get it done on the offensive side for the Caps. It's now up to Owen to get it done defensively on the mound.
Yeah, Hunter Owen coming back for his second summer with Brewster. He was here last year, and life's pretty good for manager Jamie Shevchik and company over in the Brewster dugout when you have a good relationship with Vanderbilt and you can just pluck guys out of there. Hunter Owen this spring with Vandy pitched sparingly. 8 games, 1 start, 26 and 2/3 innings. A 4.05 ERA, 22 hits, 12 earned, 8 walks, 38 strikeouts. But he's been tasked with shutting the door against the Dores, and you figured last inning if Jamie Shevchik was smart over in the Brewster dugout, he was going to put in one of his lefties, Oxford, Welch, or Owen, and now we see one of them because the Commodores have struggled mightily against left-handed pitching this summer, including yesterday against Nelson Berkwich for Bourne. Team 174 average against Southpaws and a team OPS under 500.
It's a tough break. That's a big reason why the Commodores have been a team that's been hitting under 200 this season. One of 3 teams on Cape Cod to do so. The other 2 come in the Eastern Division, the Chatham Anglers and the Harwich Mariners. But here's Colby Halter trying to spark a comeback. He has a couple of singles today, and he looks at ball 1 high. And Hunter Owen's 2022 Cape League season is officially underway after that pitch. You said it just a couple moments ago, partner. This guy won a ring last season with Brewster. Swing and a miss from Halter, count even at 1.
Owen pitched in 7 games last summer to be precise. 4.8 ERA for the eventual champion Whitecaps, 15 innings. Struck out 18 over that span.
Strike 2 now on Halter. Halter started for 9 games at his usual spot at third base for USA Baseball at the World Baseball Softball Confederation's 2019 U18 World Cup. And Halter went around and he can't believe it. He has some words for Rick Emerson. Some words we can't say as well either. There's one gone.
Well, this umpiring crew has borne the brunt of it tonight from both dugouts. Not for the strike zone, really, but for a couple decisions that haven't gone the Dores' way. Not a lot has today, and they're letting their voices be heard no matter what the result ends up being.
It's just a team that's a little frustrated. First pitch to Jacob Walsh, foul to the left side, 0-1. Walsh is 1 for 2 today. Got himself an infield single to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. But there is a controversial play where he was on the base paths. He's on the other side of a double play as that pitch plugs off his back. So Walsh going over to first base via the hit by pitch. It's just a breaking ball that got away from Owen. But finishing my thought with the last time Walsh was on the base paths, umpire said he left early on a fly ball from Andrew Pinckney. And Grayson Tater over there at right field made a sliding grab. Walsh and the rest of the Commodores couldn't believe that the verdict was that he did leave early. So here's Pinckney, rising senior out of Alabama. Has himself a single today that came in the 2nd. He swings and misses at strike 1.
He's done a lot of damage this summer against left-handers. We've said it each and every time he's come up to hit one of them. 7 for his first 19 at the plate with 2 doubles and 2 home runs.
He's paving the way. Walsh on first, and Pinckney hits this one out to left field. This will stay in the yard. Fisher is under it, and he makes the grab for the 2nd out in the 6th. So here comes Drew Brutcher. He's been the sign of life today for the Dores. A 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. It's beautiful. Line drive off the bat. You knew it was going to get out right when you heard barrel the ball. Tell you what, the more you get invested in baseball, the more you get to understand the sounds. You hear the bat go off a baseball, you just know, like, oh, that's going to go pretty far. That was the case with Brutcher's first at-bat today. And the other one, he walked. So not really an at-bat. So technically, Brutcher is 1 for 1.
And including his home run today, he's now hitting .258 in July with 2 long balls. So things are going better for Brutcher at the plate after a slow start in June.
2-0 now on Drew. There's an article about the hot start for the Dores in July. Cape Cod Baseball League giving the Falmouth Commodores some praise. That's something you want to see. 2-0 is through for a base hit into center field. Walsh will stay at second base, and there are 2 on with 2 gone in the 6th, thanks to a single from Drew Brutcher, who is now 2 for 2 today.
Well, I think you can officially call this guy hot at the plate. Seems about every time he starts in this lineup, he ends up with at least 1 time on base or 1 hit. Yesterday had a tough game defensively, but did get in the hit column and a 1 for 4 day. Before that, 1 for 4 as well. Seems like he comes up with that line a lot, but the more you do that, the more your numbers are going to climb.
So let's see if Corey Collins can make this thing interesting. Already has a single today. Looks at ball 1 high. Owen showing some heat with his fastball as well. We saw Liam Simon get up to 96. Owen showing off 93, 94. That last pitch was 93.
And he's got a curveball, a slider, and a changeup as well. 4-pitch mix.
Collins has a bug in his eye. Calls time. He gets it out somewhat. Tell you what, we're dealing with some flies in here too.
I was about to say, we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there. Not fun. 2-0 now. Literally said it going into this bottom half of the 6th inning. I need to kill this fly. Kept trying to clap it. May have heard it on the broadcast, a couple of claps. It was me. I confess. And no, I still have not killed the fly yet. 2-0. Too high, ball 3. And you're shooting at it right now.
That's a different one. I mean,
it's a different one?
We're talking about killing bugs. Collins is probably thinking he needs to kill this baseball. We've yet to see him really piece one up this summer. No home runs so far for this Georgia Bulldog, but he's got a lot of pop.
4-pitch walk for Collins. And the bases are loaded with Jacob Kozart coming up to the plate. He puts this ball in play, Carter, especially into the outfield. This ball game is a whole lot different than it was in this top half.
And this, for Kozart, is a spot that he probably wants to be in. He's seen his playing time decrease a little bit over this month. He's looking for a chance to really make a case to get back in this lineup regularly, and coming through in these spots is a good mark for your case.
Cozy walked last time up. He looks at strike 1. Takes a quick look back at Rick Emerson because he didn't think that was a strike, but Rick says otherwise, and Kozart's now down 0-1.
Looking for his first hit against a left-hander this summer. 0 for his first 11.
He swings and misses at that one. It's now 0-2. This would be tough for the Dores if they can't get anything here. Down 5 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. As Owen steps off the mound. And time is called by Emerson.
Man, I think a pretty clear message being sent here by Jeff Trundy. He could send in Josiah Cromwick here to play a matchup, but he's got faith in Kozart to come through.
Owen with the 0-2. Misses low, ball 1. Good eye from Cozy. Comes out of High Point, North Carolina. Going east to Raleigh to play college ball in NC State. The 1-2. Outside. Ball 2. That walk from Kozart last time he came up to the plate came in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Walking on a 3-1 count. Trying to keep the inning alive here. 2-2. Cozart sends it out to right center field. Going back is Lasco and Tatro. Lasco makes a sliding catch to close out the 6th. That's just a tough break for the Dores, and they keep on getting tougher. They strand 3 to close out the 6th as we head into the top of the 7th. Dores trail by 5.
Logan Soforenko here at Fenway Park with Florida infielder Colby Halter. Colby, you just finished IO. How you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. It's awesome to be in Fenway Park. You know, it's a legendary park, so.
We talked about it being a great park. Specifically, you're in the oldest ballpark in America. What's it feel like, and what's it mean to you as a ball player?
Yeah, you know, anytime you're in any big league ballpark, it's really cool. But obviously, this one's a little bit extra special. So I'm stoked to be here.
Now, you got batting practice coming up. You thinking about what I'm thinking? You trying to hit one on the monster?
I'm gonna go backside over the monster for sure.
That's the motto. That's backside. That's been what they've been saying. But now I got a question for you. It's a quick one. There is a street behind the monster. See if you know your Fenway history. Do you know the name of the street?
Big Poppy Way. I have no idea.
We got Big Poppy Way. It is Lansdowne Street.
Lansdowne.
There you go. Hey, Colby, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy BP. We're going to be looking out to see if he hits one maybe in the monster or onto Lansdowne. We'll see. That has to be some crazy opposite field power, but I think he can do it. We'll see you soon.
We welcome you back to Gov Fuller Field as we head on to the top of the 7th inning between the Falmouth Commodores and Brewster Whitecaps. It was the Caps who broke it open in the top of the 6th inning with a 4-run frame, 4 runs on 4 hits and stranded 2 against a pair of Dores pitchers, the second of which is still on the mound, and Ryan Slater on for inning number 2 after he came in to relieve Caleb Corbett, who finished up with 2/3 of an inning pitched. So the Dores have some work to do in this game. 2 big frames for Brewster have spelled trouble in this one. 3-run first, 4-run 6th. The Dores came up just a little short in the 6th inning. That deep fly ball off the bat of Jacob Cozart hauled in on a circus catch by center fielder Ryan Lasco, who was going back and to his left and tumbled to the ground to leave the bases loaded for the Dores. Carson DiMartini now at the plate, starting things in the 7th inning. He was the first man to bat in the 6th. Drew a leadoff walk from Caleb Corbett that ended up being a sign of things to come. First pitch to him from Slater is high and away, 1-0. DiMartini today 0 for 1 with 2 walks. As the 1-0 sails in for a strike, it's 1-1. One delivery. Big wave and a miss. It's 1-2 on DiMartini. So the Dores today have left 6 on base. They have 2 runs on 8 hits and an error. Whitecaps have 7 runs on 8 hits and an error. 1-2, froze him for strike 3. DiMartini, a strikeout victim for the 2nd time today. First one in the books for Slater. And there's 1 away here at the top of the 7th.
Second time DiMartini's gone down looking today. But this is a tough out coming up right here in Cam Fisher, Carter.
Cam Fisher 1 for 2 today with a 2 RBI double in the 1st. Walked his last time up in the 6th and came around to score. First pitch, a strike from Slater. And the count, no balls and a strike on Fisher. So the sun finally set here at the Gov. No more sunlight for anybody in the field. Popped up left side, back of the plate. Cozart gives it a look. And no play. It's now 0-2 on Fisher. So the Dores trying to avoid finishing up the homestand to begin this week with a mark of 0-3. They fell to the Wareham Gatemen 3 days ago. They fell to the Bourne Braves last night. As the 0-2 pitch comes down and in to Fisher, and it's 1-2. And Falmouth in danger of falling to the Whitecaps, trailing by 5 here in the 7th inning. 1-2 delivery. Off the end of the bat, Mooney from short, strong throw, and beat him by a step.
Out number 2 here in the 7th inning. And now David Mendham, the batter. Base is empty. 2 down here, top of the 7th inning. Mendham today 1 for 3. The defense today for the Dores has been cleaner than usual. Only 1 error in this game. It was on Colby Halter, on Ryan Lasko, who was then thrown out stealing, so ended up not hurting. But there was a miscue that doesn't go in the books as an E, and that was the play that Caleb Corbett had on the Mendham ground ball last inning, as he sends this pitch back where it came from for a 2-out single here in the 7th. These Whitecaps, at least today, they have been relentless. For just the 4th time this season, they've scored 7 or more runs. Entered the day towards the bottom of the offensive leaderboards, and runs scored did the Whitecaps. 3rd lowest scoring team on the Cape. Only Orleans and Chatham had been worse, but you wouldn't know it tonight. They now have 7 runs on 9 hits. Logan Bravo takes a strike, and it's 0-1. So the lights are on here at Gov Fuller Field. They've been on for 4 days, but not a lot there for the Dores. 0-1. Big wave and a miss, and a slider upstairs for Bravo, and it's 0-2. Mendham at first, 2 down. The 0-2. Down in the dirt, it gets through Cozart, and on to second goes Mendham. Wild pitch by Slater. And that advances Mendham into scoring position. So on a day with a sparse crowd already here at the Gov, this score on the board for the Dores has rendered that dugout all but silent. It's like a morgue over there right now. 1-2. Bravo did hold up at a pitch down and away. They appealed at first, and Steve Kalenda confirms it. Counts 2-2. So wearing the road jerseys at home, at least so far for the Dores, has not proved to be a good luck charm.
Turned to be somewhat of one last year, but not showing it right now.
And you have to figure with the Whitecaps wearing their road dark blues that they didn't get the memo. 2-2. Popped foul right side, and Bravo stays alive. Bravo trying to avoid the golden sombrero today. He struck out all 3 times he's been up in the 1st, 4th, and 6th. DH hitting 6th today for the Caps. Entered the evening hitting .230. 2 down, runner at second. And the 2-2 pitch. Got him. Another strikeout for Slater. This one ends the 7th inning. 4 on the day for Bravo. As we head on to the bottom of the 7th, Chestnut, Mooney, and Nicholas, 9, 1, and 2 for the Dores. We'll be back in just a moment.
Do your best cartwheel.
I'm not a gymnast. I think I'd pull something if I did a cartwheel.
Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
I'm going to go with fly, honestly. I think flying would be pretty cool. Be able to be up in the air around everybody, you know, fly with some birds. Be pretty cool stuff, Carson.
Okay, Anders, now do your best and favorite dance move.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field, where the Falmouth Commodores currently trail the Brewster Whitecaps by a score of 7-2. The Falmouth Commodores head to McKeon Park for the 2nd time this season tomorrow to take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for their 4th matchup of the 2022 season. And folks, the Harbor Hawks have absolutely dominated the Falmouth Commodores through the first 3 matchups, as the Falmouth Commodores are looking to get in the win streak, because the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are only 1 point behind first place in the Katuitt Kettleers in the Western Division. The Dores look to get their offense going and keep things rolling against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for their first win since 2021 against Hyannis. Guys?
Well, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are a team that Falmouth is going to have to try and beat if they want to make up ground in the Western Division. Dores currently in last. The surprising Hawks are in second, where they've spent most of the season. So they sit there tonight with Katuitt still clinging to a slim lead in first place. But here in this game, the Dores have to take care of business first. They're going to have to work hard to do it, trailing by 5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Colton Sundloff, the new pitcher for the Caps, right-hander out of the University of Oklahoma. A guy who comes down low with that arm slot at about 3 or 4 o'clock on the face. And he deals with Chestnut, Mooney, and Nicholas. 9, 1, and 2 in the Falmouth order when they come up.
Yeah, it's a funky delivery from Sundloff, but the ERA is up to 9.00 when he's making his 4th appearance. He only has 3 innings pitched as well. The delivery is there, and it may mess up with you a little bit, but you just got to put the ball in play. And the stats from Sundloff prove it so far in his young season on Cape Cod. I mentioned the 9.00 ERA and just 3 innings pitched. So it's up to Travis Chestnut and the rest of his team to take advantage here.
2 of Sundloff's 3 appearances have been scoreless as Chestnut shows bunt and takes a strike. The only one that Sundloff allowed runs was July 5th. He gave up 3 in an inning at Orleans in a tie. Dores hoping they can crack the case against him today. 0-1 took something off, down to 80 miles an hour on the changeup from Sundloff, and the count quickly 0-2 on Chestnut. Fastball low 90s, slider low 80s, and a changeup for this right-hander. The 0-2. Popped foul back of the plate. Atkinson gives it a little bit of a look, but now retreats back to the plate. Sundloff standing at 6'5" at Oklahoma this spring. 18 appearances, a 6.86 ERA in 21 innings. 33 hits. Opponents hit 351 off him with the Sooners. 4 home runs in just 21 innings. 0-2 on Chestnut. Fouled right back to the netting, and it count stays 0-2. It's been a frustrating day for the Dores all around. They've stranded 6. They left the bases loaded in the 6th on a spectacular catch in center field by Ryan Lasko. They had a blow-up 6th inning. The pitching side as the 0-2 drifts away from Chestnut. And they've let their frustration show against this umpiring crew today, specifically Rick Emerson behind the plate. 1-2 delivery. Low and away from Chestnut, who wouldn't bite, and it's 2-2. So in between this inning, we saw Emerson go over to the Falmouth dugout. Had some words with, looked like manager Jeff Trundy and maybe a few others, telling him to quiet down. 2-2 to Chestnut, in for strike 3, and he knew right away. First K in the books for Sundloff as Chestnut goes down looking, his 2nd strikeout today, and Alex Mooney is the hitter with the bases empty and 1 down here in the 7th. So you see that arm angle at work. Sometimes it just freezes hitters. Mooney waves and misses at the first offering. It's 0-1. We've seen him swing first pitch quite a bit lately.
We have. Saw a lot of it last night, too.
0-1. Skips outside, too far for Atkinson to reach, and it's 1-1. So Sundloff, the 3rd Brewster pitcher used today. Liam Simon, the starter, departed after 5 innings. And Hunter Owen pitched just a single frame in the 6th. Got out of that bases loaded jam before exiting. 1-1. Fly to deep right center field. Tatro heading back towards the wall to make the catch. Another loud out off the bat of a Falmouth Commodore today. No dice for Mooney, who nearly had his 2nd home run in as many games, but couldn't quite get enough, and that's out number 2 here in the 7th.
A lot of loud outs tonight. The other one, another one at least, coming from Cozart, right center field. It's just not their night. Not their night tonight.
Dores trying to get something together on offense and not wait till the 9th inning to do it. And they've done that a couple times lately. as the first pitch stays outside to Jackson Nicholas, who's 1 for 3 today, now 1 for 9 on the summer since coming over from the University of Oklahoma. 2-0 now the count on Nicholas.
And that hit that he had came against this team on the other side. RBI single.
2-0. Popped back at the plate, foul. And it's 2-1. So Nicholas, a former top prospect at the high school level in the state of Kansas, made his way to Oklahoma. And he's now here dodging the 2-1 offering from Sundloff that sailed way inside, and it's 3-1.
That was smooth. Probably did a lot of that in PE with the gator skin foam dodgeballs that people play with now, not the red bouncy ones. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't think I ever used those.
What?
3-1 is wrapped foul right side, 3-2.
What did you use?
The foam ones?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ones that were easier to throw?
Yeah, and the one that would whistle if you threw hard enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they, and if you threw it hard enough, they could be like blitz balls with movement that they make. You could still hit people really hard with them, but not as hard as like the red ones that people back in the day.
Not sure why people ever used those.
Because they're cool.
Nothing but pain.
Yeah. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Payoff pitch to Nicholas is fouled back again. He's had a good at bat here. Lengthiest so far against Sundloff since he entered this game in the 7th. Took care of Chestnut relatively quickly, then got a fly out off the bat of Mooney. Nicholas trying to get on base for the first time today. The Dores desperately need guys on base, trailing by 5. Payoff pitch again. Inside for ball 4. Quite an at-bat by Jackson Nicholas. He takes first on base for the first time today. It's a 2-out walk here in the 7th inning. And now Colby Halter coming to the plate, 2 for 3. As last time up, struck out looking and had some choice words for home plate umpire Rick Emerson. So hopefully cooler heads have prevailed there. Sundloff's first offering, fouled to the left side, 0-1. You might be some cynical people out there who think these players don't care at all because it's just summer ball, right? All they get out of it is personal reps. They don't really care about the team, but these guys are competitors.
They are.
All you had to look at was Halter's reaction to that strikeout. You know, what did he have to gain from getting that upset? 1-0. Big swing and a miss upstairs, 1-1. 0-2 the count rather to Halter now as we adjust.
I mean, you said it best. I mean, everyone's getting upset together. This team has won enough games to buy in with one another. You know, just because they're in last place right now and they're struggling a little bit doesn't mean that they're just here for individual play. These guys want to win.
0-2, spoiled foul left side, and it stays 0-2.
And this guy shows it most as well. Colby Halter gives it 100% every day.
You don't hit 320 at any level without competitive at-bats.
Yeah, you don't. This guy is one of if not the hardest working players on this team. He shows it the way he reacts to pitches. He shows it in his play, both offensively and defensively. This guy's the toughest out on this team.
0-2. Low and away, 1-2.
Just a joy to talk to as well. Really funny guy. All around really cool dude.
He's trying to give these fans a little more joy. Yeah. He's been awfully quiet lately with the Dores down 5. Sundloff throwing over, and Nicholas back to first.
Trying to give us some joy as well. We thought we had it in the 6th, and then Lasco made that sliding play. You just hear my heart sinking in the process.
But a magnificent play from a guy who
Oh, it was
got
a
a
great
Team
play.
USA invite.
It's a great play.
1-2. A little bit high, and the count 2-2. That just goes to show you these two have short memories. If there was any animosity still, that might have been strike 3 for Halter.
Yeah. But that's baseball. That's the professionalism shown by both the hitter and the umpire. Next at bat. Call it fair and roll with it.
2-2 deliveries, low and in, 3-2. So for the second straight hitter, Sundloff has run the count full. As you finally hear a little bit of noise, not just from the bleacher seats over on the right side, but also the Falmouth dugout.
It's them making noises again.
They tend to do that when they smell a rally.
It's so funny. It is so funny.
Payoff pitch to Halter. Nicholas goes. And low for ball 4. Quite an at-bat by Halter. Second straight walk from Sundloff. And there's 2 on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Dores.
The great at-bats just keep coming. Nicholas with a great at-bat. Halter with a great at-bat. And it always is a good one, especially in your favor when you get on base. You know, all that work is finally made for something.
And now Jacob Walsh is the batter, and he can make things interesting here with one big swing. Certainly capable with 4 home runs this summer, all of them against right-handed pitching. Sundloff, with good reason, talking things over with Atkinson now on the mound. Andrew Pinckney would be on deck if Walsh can extend this inning. So the Dores getting down into some of their hotter hitters. Pinckney on deck, and then Drew Brutcher in the hole, who's 2 for 2 today. But the Dores trying to string these hits together, string these base runners together. Haven't hit for a lot of average this season as a team, but they've hit quite a few home runs. Now they're trying to break that trend and string together some base hits. First pitch to Walsh. Attacks on the first offering, and it's Vaz to finish things off with a quick flip from second base. The Dores leave 2 on back-to-back walks as we head on to the top of the 8th inning. Tatro, Atkinson, and Diaz. 7, 8, and 9 for Brewster coming up when we return.
Soforenko here, field side at Fenway Park with middle infielder and I guess outfielder Anthony McKenzie. Anthony, how you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So you guys just took IO. How you feeling after it?
Felt good. The field was nice. There was no bad hops, so I'll just say that it was really good.
A little different than playing at high school fields. Now we're here at Fenway Park, America's oldest ballpark. What's it like being in this historic atmosphere?
Super awesome. We're just gonna try to hit poolside jacks over the monster.
So with that being said, you being a switch hitter, you're not going to take any in the left-handed batter's box?
No, I definitely will, but when we go righty, we're definitely trying to hit poolside jimmies today.
Poolside jimmies, and when you're batting lefty, you're going to try and go backside.
Yeah, we're trying to go to the scoreboard. I think that's like a 600-foot bomb, so.
Hey, there you go. Have fun with that. I got one fact for you. Behind the monster, there's a street. Do you know the name of the street?
I do not, no.
It is Lansdowne Street.
Okay.
So there you go, some Fenway Park history for you.
We're trying to hit it to the street. What's it called?
Lansdowne Street.
Lansdowne. We're trying to go to Lansdowne.
There's actually a parking lot on the other side of the street, so if you clear it far enough, Rob Revsnyder the other night, he hit a car there, so you never know.
Absolutely. All right, sounds good.
Heck yeah. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. The Dores are almost ready to go for BP. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field as we head on to the top of the 8th inning. Brewster Whitecaps have been in control of this game since a 3-run top of the first inning. They now lead 7-2 against the Falmouth Commodores. As we finish out this game, the final 2 innings of this one, no matter what happens, Grayson Tatro is the one to start things for the Caps here in the top of the 8th inning. He's 2 for 3 today. Ryan Slater, right-hander on the mound for Falmouth. First offering is fouled way high and deep to the left side, and it's 0-1. So Tatro doing what he usually does to these Dores, and that's beat him half to death at the plate. We detailed his stats earlier today. Previous 3 games, 4 for 11, 364 mark with 4 steals. as he flies this one to left field. Chestnut calling it off immediately underneath it for out number 1 here in the top of the 8th.
I don't think he was calling that off. It was his ball all the way. You know what it was? He lost it in the lights for a second, and then he found it. He's about to have a Christian Arroyo moment in left field, though.
Well, you know what they say. It's better to lose a ball in the lights than play 6 innings after your lights break.
Yeah, that was to you at Wareham, Gateman.
Chase,
you were directing that to them too, right?
well, I may have. Chase Atkinson takes down low for ball 1, 1-0 with 1 down, bases empty. Atkinson today, 1 for 3, and he watches a strike called, 1-1 from Slater, who has effectively put out the fire since he came in the 6th inning. Did allow back-to-back singles in that inning, but pitched a clean 7th. 1-1 off the end of the bat, fouled back of the plate, and it's 1-2 on Atkinson. But the Dores have not put all 3 phases together in this homestand. If this score holds, they'll have gone 0 for 3 to start this week. Atkinson fouls another one back. It stays 1-2. Against the Gatemen and the Braves, it was hitting and some sloppy defense that doomed the Dores. The pitching in both those games was actually very solid. But today, some rough work out of the bullpen and a troubled first inning from starter Josh Roberge have been the issue. 1-2 the count on Atkinson still, who has fouled off a couple in this at bat. One-two delivery. Stays low and away again, 2-2. Atkinson's made his presence felt in this game on the base paths as well, as the Dores have tried to run. They've had a couple runners thrown out trying to steal in this game. Brutcher was cut down trying to do it, so was Halter. 2-2, tapped foul. Again, right side. Atkinson really putting up a fight here with 1 away and the base is empty. This guy at the plate right now who has been around, played at Oklahoma State this spring, but played for Boise State in 2020 before the pandemic hit. Then in 2021, dipped down JUCO with San Jacinto College. As he pops this one up, right side, Jacob Walsh moseying over. Makes an easy catch for out number 2 here in the top of the 8th. And now Davis Diaz steps in with 2 down, bases empty. Ryan Slater still on the mound. He can get through a 1-2-3 inning here. Diaz got a hit off him his last time up in the 6th inning to extend the 6th. First pitch in, a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. 0-1, a little outside. It's 1-1. 1-1, grounded sharply to third base. Halter leaning down to get it, and the throw a little off the line, but Walsh applied the tag for out number 3. So it is a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Slater in the top of the 8th inning. The Whitecaps go down in order as we head on to the bottom of the 8th. Pinckney, Brutcher, and Collins. 5, 6, and 7 for Falmouth due up when we come back.
Hey there, Commodore fans. Thanks for joining us and cheering on your Falmouth Commodores. Want to take a break from the action? Come make a visit to the merchandise booth. Check us out behind home plate. We have a bunch of new designs for you to purchase, from hats to shirts, jerseys, crew necks, wine glasses, and even baby bibs. You think of it, we probably have it. From youth sizes to even adult double XLs. We have everything you need for family and friends. Be sure to come say hello and get a piece of Falmouth merch. Make a trip before we close up shop in the 9th inning. See you soon, and roll Dores.
Well, welcome back to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Gov Fuller Field. Falmouth Commodores are down to their final 6 outs, trailing the Brewster Whitecaps 7-2. And they've got to square up with a new arm to do it out of the Brewster pen. The second lefty they've seen today. This is Brennan Oxford, left-hander out of Wake Forest, I should say, native of Durham, New Hampshire. And this is a guy, Trey, that the Dores have seen before this summer.
And it's been scary each and every time they've seen him. 0.0 ERA. He's making his 8th appearance, and that just tells you how dominant he's been. That's now tied for the amount of appearances this season, along with Ryan Chasey out of Campbell, but 10 and a third innings pitch. He's given up 7 hits. Like I said, hasn't allowed a run. He struck out 11, walking just 5 runners. He's been dominant this season, and it doesn't really help Carter when you go up against a Falmouth lineup that struggles against left-handed hitters. You've gone with the stats all season about it, and it's case in point right here. Oxford is a big reason why the stats are the way they are against lefties.
Well, the Dores are not the only team on the Cape to struggle against left-handed pitching, but that is a trend that we've started to notice as this summer has worn on. Brennan Oxford has pitched against the Dores twice in 3 previous games in this series, and across those 2 appearances, he has a combined 4 1/3 scoreless innings against the Commodores. Only 2 hits allowed, and has struck out 4 over those games. So this is a guy the Dores have not dealt with very well, but the guy at the plate leading things off against him has swung the bat quite well against lefties, you would say. Average over 400, and as we like to say, that'll play.
That'll play. I mean, it's a favorable matchup. You don't get that many of them. So, like I said, lefty-favored lineup with the Dores. But when you have your chances, you got to take advantage.
First pitch from Oxford, a fastball swung right through by Pinckney on the outer half. The count 0-1 on the Falmouth center fielder, who's 1 for 3 today. Scored a run back in the 2nd inning on the Brutcher home run. This one stays high, 1-1 the count. But it was Pinckney who hit into that double play back in the 4th inning when Walsh was doubled off second, and it seems like ever since that point, things have been going bad for the Dores.
And I still don't even know if he left early or not. I was doing play-by-play for that, and I was still locked in on Tatro.
1-1 drifts low and away. They appeal to third. And Pinckney did lay off 2-1. I guess we'll have to review the tape, see if Walsh went.
Definitely.
But that was a big momentum swing in this game. 2-1, fouled straight back 2-2. But we forget on the fly ball that Pinckney hit to right field, it was a diving play by Tatro, like you said.
It was a great play. It was a great play.
This outfield defense for the Whitecaps today has been spectacular, and it's just par for the course for this defense. They've made the 2nd fewest errors in the entire Cape League. They do have 1 today. But only 20 on the season compared to the Dores now with 43. Another pitch high to Pinckney, and he runs the count full. Usually does have good at-bats against lefties, and the same thing coming up here. Another payoff pitch. Well, Brewster got a 4-run inning started with a leadoff walk in the 6th. Let's see if Pinckney can rip off the same thing here. Three-two. He does walk. Good at bat off of Oxford, and Pinckney takes first base here at the bottom of the 8th inning with Drew Brutcher now coming to the plate.
Counting 6 walks. So the opportunities have come, hits or not. And I mean, there's 8 hits tonight for Falmouth. Just 1 less from Brewster. I mean, more as the game has gone along, Falmouth has normally led the hit category, so the chances are there. It's just unfortunate that they don't keep working when the runners get in scoring position if they find their way to that point in the base paths.
First pitch to Brusher, misses high, and it's 1-0. Well, the Dores today have 8 hits, 6 walks, and a hit by pitch. They've had a lot of guys on base, but they have also hit into 2 double plays. They've had 2 guys thrown out stealing. So they have squandered some of their chances. This one in for a strike on Brutcher. Looked like a similar spot for Oxford. Now the count's 1-1.
Yeah, and Pinckney doesn't have much of a lead over there at first base. Something you see with a lot with lefties, it's a whole different ball game on the base pass because it's simple. They can see you, so they know when you're getting a jump, and they know when you're not. So Pinckney likes to swing back a little bit.
Good breaking ball by Oxford in for a strike 2. Brutcher gives it a little shake of the head. He didn't like that call. But Oxford trying to keep him off base for the first time today. Home run, walk, single. The 3 plate appearances have gone for Brutcher today. One-two delivery. Too far outside. Brutcher wouldn't go after it. It's 2-2. Pinckney, a guy who can steal a bag, but he's not going to be going here. You wouldn't think.
Hey, Jacob. Good to see you, man.
2 of the mainstays in this lineup this summer.
Yep.
Mooney today 1 for 4. Walsh 1 for 3. The 2 guys in that picture. 2-2 to Brutcher. Swing and a miss for strike 3. First whiff for Oxford, and it's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. And here's Corey Collins, who's 1 for 2 today with a walk, and it seems like the more we watch this guy, the more he has games where he gets on base more than once.
Yeah.
Had a pretty tough start.
But he's gone on base twice today. And you'll take that any day of the week.
Single in the 2nd, walk in the 6th. It's Jacob Cozart who came up after that and hit that fly ball to right center that Ryan Lasko probably catches about 1 or 2 times out of 10. But he came up with it to stop the rally. Strike 1 into Collins, and it's 0-1. Collins against lefty pitching this summer, 0 for 12. So he's one of the guys on this Falmouth team who have had their struggles. 0-1 from Oxford. Breaking ball down low, it's 1-1. More on this left-hander on the mound, though. Fastball, curveball, slider pitcher. That slider's a good plus pitch for him. 17 games pitched for the Demon Deacons this spring. Down in Winston-Salem, a 6.6 ERA in 15 innings, 13 hits, 11 earned, 21 walks, 17 strikeouts. 1-1. In for a strike, and it's 1-2. That fastball not blowing up the radar gun. It's been hovering around the high 80s so far. Not the hardest thrower today for the Whitecaps, but Oxford, a guy who does have good spin on his pitches. You hear that expression sometimes where that can produce movement. Doesn't always do it, but what it means is that it has good life through the zone. It doesn't fade away, doesn't lose its spin as it travels through. Breaking ball missed on the inside corner, and it's 2-2.
And that's something the YD Red Sox try and find with their pitchers. They want guys with a lot of spin rate. And it's been successful for them this season over in South Yarmouth. I mean, they're leading the Eastern Division right now. I would say they're my pick to win the Cape League Championship because they can do it done. They can get it done at the plate and on the mound. And one of their big stats that Sam Lebowitz, one of their broadcasters, told me is the spin rate. If it works for them, takes advantage.
Pinckney went on that pitch, but Collins pops it up. Back of the plate foul. So Pinckney running with the Dores in need of some offense. Perhaps trying to jumpstart something, but has to now go back to first. Now this Oxford's 2nd summer with Brewster. He came up here late in the summer last year from the Coastal Plain League. Came up for a cup of coffee, 3 games, 6 2/3 innings, and pitched to a 2.7 ERA. He was pretty effective. One of the cogs in that championship winning squad out in Brewster last year, and they beat the Bourne Braves. Oxford throws over to first now just to keep Pinckney honest. The count stays 2-2. But Oxford's had the good stuff, and he's had the hype everywhere he's gone. From Oyster River High School out in New Hampshire all the way to Wake Forest. This was a guy back in high school who threw 4 consecutive no-hitters.
My goodness.
2-2 gets Collins looking on the outside corner. Good location and better execution for Oxford, his second straight strikeout. And here's Jacob Cozart, 0 for 2 today with a walk already. He'll take his cracks with Pinckney at first base and 2 down.
Seen this matchup a couple of times in the college season. Wake Forest and NC State playing each other this season in ACC play. It's unfortunate that the Dores don't have their Wake Forest guys anymore. Josh Hartle, Cam Manassi reaching their innings limit just last week. It's a joy to talk to Josh for last time this summer when we were in Boston.
Line down the right field line, just foul. Pinckney was galloping like an antelope around second base. He now has to go back. No doubt he would have scored on that ball, but just a little bit too far gone for Cozart. Let's see if he gets that again, try to straighten it out.
He's one of those guys that, you know, shows a lot of contacts, puts hard hit balls in play, but the stats don't show it. You know, he has his moments, and it's just unfortunate that it always gets shut down by a great defensive play. I mean, Exhibit A is today. He had the bases loaded. He sent a shot out to right center field, the deepest part of the ballpark, but got stopped.
Down in the dirt with Pinckney almost back picked off first, just did get back. Atkinson came up throwing on a pitch that Cozart took. It's 1-1. Haven't seen that a lot this year, but Pinckney got a tad too ambitious on that lead. Atkinson's been throwing a lot today. Back of the plate. See how much the Dores want to test him in these final 2 innings. 1-1. Drifts low and outside to Cozart again. It's 2-1. As Oxford wants a new ball. Well, even if the Dores do go down tonight, they'll have won the season series against Brewster. 2 games to 1 and 1 tie. Problem for the Dores, though, is that they keep beating Eastern Division teams. They can't make up any ground in the West against the teams ahead of them.
Isn't this the only team that they face in the East Division this week, too?
2-1 is a big wave and a miss by Cozart, and a fastball upstairs. It's 2-2.
I think so, right?
Sounds like it could be right, for sure. Dores have already lost 2 in a row against Western Division teams, Wareham and then Bourne.
She's got Hannes tomorrow. Bourne. And then Saturday.
Wareham.
Yeah, Wareham, yep. And get to it.
Yep. Atkinson just had one fouled right off his mask. Cozart checking on him, knows as a catcher that can't be pleasant, and the count stays 2-2. Rick Emerson giving him a fist bump saying, hey, today we've both taken a lot of abuse.
Yeah. Emerson's gotten hit a couple of times as well. Remember Brandon Johnson a couple of days ago was getting plunked back there a couple of times too. I can never go back there. I really couldn't. I know a couple of my friends have umpired before, and I ask him, you have a couple of bruises each and every time you come out behind the plate?
I thought you were talking about catching. I was about
that too.
I was about to agree with you either way.
I'm terrified of catching too.
Pinckney goes on the 2-2, but it's a swing and a miss by Cozart, and that ends the bottom of the 8th inning. The Dores get a leadoff walk, but they go quietly with 3 straight strikeouts. We head on to the top of the 9th. Vaz, Lasco, and DeMartini, 1, 2, and 3 for Brewster, due up when we come back.
House of Falmouth Commodore, be sure to sign up to become a host family today. Hosting a Cape League player can be very rewarding. Players connect and bond with the families, often forming lifelong relationships. Please remember that every Commodores player is bound and governed by NCAA rules and regulations. In order to maintain their collegiate athletic ability, host families receive a weekly allowance from the Falmouth Commodores to help cover player expenses. Host families are not required to provide transportation to players. The Falmouth Commodores are very grateful to the wonderful families that host our players each and every year. If you are interested in hosting a Falmouth Commodores player for the summer, contact our housing coordinator, Lisa Smuda, at lisatz143@comcast.net. For more information, visit our website at falmouthcommodores.com. Thank you for supporting our players, and roll Dores.
Well, those still sticking around at Gov Fuller Field have seen the Dores fall behind early and stay behind in this game against the Brewster Whitecaps. It's 7-2 as we move on to the top of the 9th inning, and a new pitcher into the game for Falmouth. Right-hander Joey Ryan out of Boston College, making another late inning appearance for the Dores.
Yeah, and he's done the most this season. He's making his 8th appearance. That's the most by any Commodore this season. He's been great this 2022 season. 2.00 ERA, 9 innings pitched, getting up 6 hits, 5 earned runs. He struck out 12 and walking just 2. That'll play.
So Ryan has followed the typical Boston College Cape League player this summer, at least the trend where
and he's the hometown
you
boy,
have
too.
sort of unassuming stats at BC, and then these players have come in and, for the most part, succeeded.
Yeah, definitely.
Ryan at BC was not this effective. He had 21 appearances and an ERA over 9, but he has been very strong since coming over. His last appearance was July 8th. He pitched a scoreless inning against Hyannis. 9 innings so far this season, 12 strikeouts, 6 hits, 2 walks allowed, only 2 earned runs. Javier Vaz at the plate. He watches ball 1, missed the inside corner, and it's 1-0. You saw Jeff Trundy just bow his head over there on that dugout ledge. That's just about every Door fan today. This has been a tough one. 1-0 skips in the dirt, and it's 2-0. So Ryan enters this game in relief of Ryan Slater, who went 2 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. 4th pitcher of the day used after Josh Roberge and Caleb Corbett. 2-0, couldn't catch the top of the zone to Javier Vaz, who stands at just 5'8", and it's 3-0. 3-0 delivery. In for a strike, 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Ryan, and it's 3-1. Well, no matter what Ryan does this summer or how soon he leaves this team, whether it's tomorrow or at the end of the season, 3-1 fouled back by Vaz. The one thing that I'll at least always remember him for is that he closed out the first win of the season.
Yep.
Against Chatham at this ballpark. 5-4 was the score.
That had to be pretty cool.
Payoff pitch to Vaz. In for strike 3 called, and Vaz knew it. He takes back to the dugout. Strikeout victim number 1 for Ryan here at the top of the 9th.
It's a nasty pitch there, too. That was one of the prettier ones I've seen tonight.
So here's Ryan Lasko, who has been as big a part of this game on the Brewster side as any player in their lineup. He grounds the first pitch up the middle for a base hit. And there you have it again, another time on base, another hit for Lasko, his 2nd of the day. It's a 2-for-4 day for Lasko, throw in a walk in there as well. And he did have that spectacular catch out in center field on that Kozar drive that we've talked so much about.
And that was his first hit since the first inning, where they put up 3 in that top half. Lasko got it going. His first hit of the ball game.
First pitch to DeMartini is down low. 1-0 the count from Ryan. So the Dores got their 2 runs back in the 2nd inning on a 2-run home run by Drew Brutcher. After 2 innings, it was 3-2, and we thought this was going to be a very high-scoring day for both teams, but the Dores have been silent since then. 1-0 as Lasko goes. Kozart's throw on the money, but the tag too late. Stolen base for Lasko, his first of the day. Now 8 for 10 on the summer.
Finally, he beat him. That's, I mean, third time is the charm, right? Lasko tried to steal in the third. He got caught. Tried to steal in the fifth. Got caught again. This time makes it by just one swim move, getting around that Mooney tag. But Cozart defensively, throwing down the second in that category, has been amazing.
He's been really on the money today.
He's been really good.
1-1, up high and away, 2-1. And that's a great thing to see for Cozart because, you know, his playing time was a little bit down since Cromwick came over from Oregon. Not just because of the struggles with the bat, but Cozart coming into today was still second on the team in errors with 5. He had some problems throwing. 1-1 is a big wave and a miss by DiMartini. It's 1-2. But you figure if this guy's got a strong arm behind the plate and he's learning under that NC State coaching staff, how big they are with catching over there, a thing you've spoken about so many times, he's going to be a defensive force the next couple of years.
Definitely.
2-2 is down low to DiMartini, and the count goes full.
I mean, it's what you bring to the table. You know, if you have a great glove, especially behind the plate, you can find your way into the lineup, even if your hitting is not where it's supposed to be.
3-2 as Lasko goes. The throw to third. Got him. DiMartini punched out on the payoff pitch. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. As DiMartini gets in some parting words to home plate umpire Rick Emerson. But that ends the top of the 9th inning. We hit onto the bottom of the 9th with the Dores trailing by 5 and trying to mount a comeback.
Commodores fans, sharpen your baseball skills with some of America's finest players from the best college programs in the country. Clinic attendees will have opportunities to work on hitting, base running, infield and outfield play, as well as pitching and catching. Attendees will also participate in Commodores Chat, where coaches and players discuss topics like sportsmanship, academics, teamwork, and other issues important to being an all-around player. Clinics are offered Tuesday, June 21st through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 3 separate clinics will be offered for ages 5 to 14.
Well, the Falmouth Commodores are down to their last chance here in the bottom of the 9th at Gov Fuller Field against the Brewster Whitecaps. 7-2 is your score. The Caps have used the power of 2 big innings in this game, a 3-run first and a 4-run 6th, to maintain a lead that the Dores have yet to chip into. Falmouth has never led today. And the new pitcher on the mound for Brewster is trying to make sure that that stays that way through the 9th. It's right-hander Ryan Packard, 6'3" right-hander out of Oneonta, New York, where he just pitched for the Herkimer College Generals and was nails over with them. 13 games, 10 starts, a 1.32 ERA in 61 1/3 innings, 31 hits, 9 earned runs, 18 walks to 90 strikeouts, as Herkimer College won its first NJCAA championship this spring.
Not too shabby. And Packard, earning a great season over there and now making the move to Dayton, where he's going to play with the Flyers in the Atlantic 10. He's making his second appearance this season, and he hasn't even gone through a full inning yet. He only has a third of an inning to his name, where he gave up 1 hit, struck out 1, and walked another. So there's not much to Packard that we can really see, but I mean, you mentioned the stats at Herkimer. He was dominant there, trying to bring it to the D1 level. And it starts with Travis Chestnut in the 9th spot. But after that, you got the top of the order coming up for the Dores. It's pretty simple. Now or never.
Well, the Dores have had some big innings this season, but they'll have to up the ante here in the 9th inning after scoring 1 in the 9th yesterday. They have mounted some rallies in the 9th this season. You think of that 3-run ninth they had against Hyannis this month and the 3-run home run by Drew Brutcher, but they're going to need more than that here. Here's Travis Chestnut. Played things off against Packard. Another bunt shown and a called strike. And Chestnut's had a quiet day at the plate. Bunted into a double play in the second and has struck out twice. Out of everybody on the team, Chestnut's the guy who shows bunt the most. You don't know if that's called or if it's just up to him, but in any event, 0-1's way low and away, 1-1.
I think he's shown it in every at-bat tonight. Has he?
At the very least, you make the pitcher think about something, but it's hard to lay one down for a base hit. 1-1 delivery. Low and inside, 2-1. Of course, the only guy I think we're thinking of the same name right now who does that with any kind of regularity is Hyannis's Riku Nishida.
We'll see him tomorrow. YouTube.com/Falmouth Commodores radio broadcast.
Back at Hyannis for the first time since mid-June. It's been a while. 2-1 is a big cut and a big miss by Chestnut. Frustrated with himself with a little head shake, but it's 2-2.
Yeah, it was on June 17th last time we were there. Walk-off wild pitch sent the Hyannis fans home happy. We thought it was going to get rained out, but it turned out to be one of the more beautiful days of the season.
2-2 on Chestnut. Ooh, big breaking ball from Packard, but sailed a little low, and it's 3-2. And that day, the Dores went down 4-3 out there at McKeon Park, and we took that loss pretty hard because at that point we still thought Hyannis was going to be the dregs of the league as they had been the previous 2 years.
Not the case.
But these Harbor Hawks are different this year. 13-8-6 entering tonight, second in the West. As Chestnut fouls one off the plate and hits himself with it, limping a bit into foul ground. Got a little stinger off the leg. Now has to work his way back. We take a look around the league scores right now. Yarmouth Dennis leading the Bourne Braves 6-2. Katuitt up 5-4 now on the Wareham Gatemen.
Those are final.
Oh, you're right.
Final.
So consider those scores in the books. YD and Katuitt with wins. Wareham made things pretty close, trailing at 1.5-0. As you know, Brewster up 7-2 here at the Gov. Orleans bringing down the hammer on Harwich 9-2. And the Harbor Hawks once again scrapping ahead of the pack. 3-2 to Chestnut is up high and in, and he draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Just to quickly finish that thought, the Hawks are up 5-2 on the woebegone Chatham Anglers right now in the bottom of the 5th at Veterans Field.
And it just, if you scroll back up with those scores, it just makes you a little bit more frustrated. You know, you have an opportunity to gain some ground. Bourne loses, Wareham loses, 3rd and 4th in the division respectively. You're doing the same here. It's not fun, you know. You have an opportunity to gain some ground back, and then it gets kind of blown away.
The Dores have lost a couple different opportunities like that recently with Alex Mooney at the plate, who looked like at a big, slow breaking ball for strike one from Ryan Packard with Chestnut at first base. Mooney rips this one foul left side. Searing ground ball over into the crowd of the few fans who are left under the trees over there. Some hardy kids over there. They get rewarded with a foul ball.
I think one of them got hit with a foul ball. Hopefully he's all right over there. That's not fun.
0-2 the count now on Mooney. Chestnut hasn't moved from first since he walked to lead this inning off. 0-2, grounded to shortstop. Diaz to Vaz, the flip to first. In time. Close play, and Mooney doesn't agree. He's standing around, but now has to work his way back to the dugout. And just the latest call in a frustrating night for the Commodores that has not gone their way.
Could not have said it better. This is tough. I mean, I'm just trying to think about a point in the season where this team has, you know, gotten crushed. Has that really happened this season? I mean, I'm just trying to, just looking back on it, trying to think of it, you know, firsthand. There's been a point in the season where, you know, they've gotten hammered. And this isn't really much of a hammering, but the games that the Dores have lost to have been 3-run deficits, 2-1. We mentioned the close games. We talk about it a lot in opening and closing the door, but if I remember correctly, there hasn't been a deficit this big.
The only game, at least at a glance, the Dores have lost this season by more than 5 runs was opening day. 9-2 against Harwich.
Yes. Thank you.
Since then, it looks like they've lost every single game by 4 or fewer runs. Quite a few 1- and 2-run losses for these Dores this season. Typically, the tougher losses for the Dores this season have been when they scored 1 or 0 runs.
Right.
Typically, the bats have gone cold, but the pitching usually holds up its end of the bargain. First pitch to Nicholas is flying to left with Fisher going over to his right, and that ends the ball game. Fairly well struck off the bat of Jackson Nicholas, but it falls into Fisher's glove in a fitting way to end the action tonight. The Brewster Whitecaps come into Gov Fuller Field and dominate from first pitch to last. 7-2 your final as the Dores drop their 3rd straight, including their 3rd straight in this building, with a road trip to Hyannis coming up tomorrow.
That's just more must-win than ever. And the games keep getting more and more important as the season goes along because you're running out of time each and every day. You know, you get lucky with your competition ahead of you losing, but you're still 4 points back. You're at a point where you have to win your games, A, but B, worry about everyone else is doing. But it's also getting to that point of the season where you have to control the controllables. Falmouth has to control its controllable against one of, if not the best team on Cape Cod, surging this season to where no one else was expecting it, other than themselves in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
So Liam Simon gets the win for Brewster. Josh Roberge gets the loss for Falmouth, as the Whitecaps improve to 12-10-6, and the Dores fall to 10-16-2, still in 5th place in the Western Division. As you take a look at our entire cast and crew, video director Sean Oldred, who makes all the pieces move, videographers Brendan Capozzi, Carson Depp, Ellie Fideli, and our video graphics technician Liv Charbonneau, who works so hard at what she does. And the rest of our crew, as you see, do such a great job night in and night out here at the Gov. But this has been Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Soforenko. That's going to be it for us tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow at Hyannis at 6 p.m. You can catch the broadcast on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel. But until then, we'll see ya and good night.